Hi, I'm Britt, and welcome to the RPG Project. Today is episode 3.
And I'm T, and we are playing The Corrupted by Navaar Seik-Jackson. But we got two very special guests with us today. So, gentlemen, please introduce yourselves.
I'll go first. I am FarlesBarkley. You can find me at various social medias, like on Twitch and TikTok, and pretty much everywhere. I'm FarlesBarkley. Cool.
Super cool. I am Jay, aka DoodleBobJohnson, and I can be found on all platforms via DoodleBobJohnson, DoodleBobTTV.
Well, gentlemen, thanks for being on. Britt, I guess it's okay that you're here.
I have to be here contractually.
Contractually, not getting paid. We are playing The Corrupted, which is written and designed by Navaar Seik-Jackson, which is a themed apocalyptic survivor based off of The Last of Us. It is going to be a mixture of D&D meets Apocalypse World in the sense of taking that dice range roll for your critical success, critical mixes, and anywhere in between. But instead of using D6s, in this game you use D20s. Which honestly feels better to me because everybody likes big number, and 2d6s you're just going to average out of 7, and that's just not very fun. But that's a conversation for another place and time. This game is found us because we found this gentleman on Twitter randomly, and that's the best way to find indie RPGs. And that's the whole point of the show, is because we're trying to showcase and help grow these smaller developers and help you guys find games other than D&D and all these other super popular TTRPGs. Make sure they get their day in the sun, much like that Hellbound Train and Printweaver. If you haven't seen those, Britt will do the YouTube thing where she throws it up on the screen all cool like.
You can find it somewhere in this vicinity.
So the synopsis of this game is very great, and and I'm not even gonna bother to make my own introduction. I'm just gonna read this as written because it's did so much for me personally. I'm a very creative individual, and I don't think I'm very creative, but this jogged so many possibilities of what this game can become. So let's jump into this right quick.
No one knows exactly how it started. Media outlets began reporting on events, playing a convoluted game of telephone with the details. The story broadly came to be an unidentified object hit an airplane carrying deadly unknown pathogens midair, and it crashed off the shoreline. Many brave citizens and emergency responders attempted to recover the scientists inside the burning plane. There were reports of a black liquid present throughout the scene. Those present were unable to avoid contact with the black liquid as they assisted with the recovery. Many of the people present during the crash left the area before authorities, including the agency responsible for preventing the spread of deadly diseases, could arrive to begin a proper quarantine. Some of those who left the scene had flights later that day. Reports detailed many witnesses claiming that there were an exorbitant amount of people who showed symptoms of some kind of ailment both at the airport and on flights. Complaints included excruciating headache, nausea, and numbness of extremities. It didn't take long for the illness to spread and for the unknown pathogen to mutate. Symptoms increased to partial blindness, uncharacteristic rage, and reports of patients crying dark blood. 5 days. It only took 5 days for the pathogen to mutate into something the world had never seen. By then, it was too late. What started as an airborne pathogen had mutated into something alien. The infected no longer presented a danger because of the air they shared with you. They were much more dangerous in the worst possible way. Corrupted by this pathogen, those infected hosts spread the virus aggressively and violently. Fight if you can. It's best to run. And if you hear them wailing, survive.
We're going to be playing this game 3 years post End of the World. Britt, what character will you be playing this evening?
I'm going to be playing Jacqueline Jack Forrester, who is a former registered nurse, and she was in emergency department for Bagabone City Hospital. And I think that's pretty much it.
All right. Doodle, who are you playing this evening?
I'm playing Rodrigo Rowdy Fuchs the Third, a generational gigolo.
Giving you the real TTRPG experience.
And you'll find out this later, but this is his first TTRPG, and he's already acting like he's played 11 of them. Farles, who will you be playing this evening?
I am playing Donnie the Don Franklin. He was a former professional wrestler that was very well known in wrestling circles, and he's just a jacked old dude with a thick mustache.
I love that the thick mustache is a very important detail, because we're going to find out how he keeps it so well kept today.
It's a secret.
So quick overview of the rules, whether it be narratively speaking or in combat, when it comes to anything that needs to be decided by the dice gods, you will roll a d20. On a 20 or higher, that is considered a critical success. You get what you wanted with a little extra as well, and reduce your stress level by 1. If you roll between a 16 and a 19, you get what you wanted. You set out, you achieve your goal. A 10 to 15 is a partial success. You fail forward. You get what you want, but you get a complication. So myself as the GM, I can start moving my little pieces on the back end, but you take 1 stress. If you roll between a 2 to a 9, that's a failure. You don't get what you want. You take 2 stress. And if you roll a nat 1, you fail the check. You are now compromised, and you take 3 stress. Being the end of the world apocalypse, you guys are probably going to be under stress a lot. That's for you to deal with and not me, because I'm not stressed personally.
How wonderful for you.
Abilities in this game are broken down in 6, like most TTRPGs. You have empathy, your character's ability to put themselves in someone else's shoes. Intellect, your character's ability to process information. Judgment, something Brit is great at. Your character's ability to determine sensible outcomes. Brawn, your character's physical strength. Agility, your character's quickness and flexibility. And vitality, your character's health and wellness. Between those, your ability stats and your skills, which is a much broader facet, which takes even a little bit past what Dungeons and Dragons offers in the terms of skills. This game much more takes in the facet of Pathfinder, where your skills are really broken down into much more elaborate breakdowns to give you much more creative ability to play off of what your character wants to do. This game will go for tit for tat when it comes to any type of encounter, whether it be a creature or a situation you guys must undercover. You guys go first. You guys will determine the order amongst yourself, however you see fit. So we're going to narratively talk out the scene, how it plays out. And based on your guys' roles is what I get to do on the back half of the game. And I get to react to your guys' actions. You guys fuck up. I get to pounce on it and make your guys' life a living hell. Other important rules. I think that's the main gist. A lot of the rules will kind of uncover as situations reveal themselves. With this being a one-shot, knock on wood, because, you know, one-shots are never actually one-shots. We'll probably be bouncing back and forth between rules. 1, make sure everybody's on the same page. 2, make sure everybody's understanding what's going on. But yeah, that is the Corrupted. Let's dive into this. But first and foremost, do your characters know each other?
Ooh. I think we know of each other, especially because there's some, like, you have a famous wrestler.
Yeah,
Like,
everyone
I
knows
feel
me.
like that's a thing.
Mhm.
And then if you know the porn industry, you probably know my name, you know, and then
Yeah, the Don definitely knows his name.
you know, expert train runner, all that stuff. So it's like the name is just known, so.
I know of you guys, and that's probably one of my conflicts.
Oh shit. That's amazing.
Well, I started out watching The Dawn, and then just the rabbit hole led me, and I don't want to explain how one led to fish. Well, then, if you guys don't directly know each other, it means you guys are probably not working in direct circles with each other. So we get to play the fun TTRPG game where you get to bring the party together. And let's be honest, it wouldn't be a real TTRPG experience if you didn't have one overly sexualized character and then your typical tavern meeting of trying to get everybody together. But Britt, with you being our resident expert TTRPG player, we're going to start with your character.
Okay.
We are 3 years post-apocalypse, and you are a former registered nurse, which I have a question about.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get to no longer be a registered nurse after the apocalypse, or is it just because you can't update the system to let everybody know that you still have all your documentation in place?
So, what I do know of being a registered nurse, you have to like go back and like re-register your stuff, like your skills and stuff each year. So it's like, okay, that doesn't exist anymore. So it's not like.
But you are still practicing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess because there is no overhead, I guess I'm still practicing. And so what I probably mean by former is probably I no longer work in a hospital system because there is no hospitals or established hospitals. So for the last couple years since the like basically apocalypse happened, me and 2 other medical professionals have been traveling around, you know, fixing people that needed fixed.
Okay.
So
It'd be a real shame if something happened to those 2.
Oh, it did. And that's why I'm by myself. We were cornered by a horde, and Trevor and Lisa didn't get out. And
Rip
so
the homies, pour one out.
Yeah, rip to the homies, especially because we were on our way with some medical supplies to, you know, a local like established village where like a lot of people had been attacked, and so we were on our way to like help.
Okay. So we'll start off like this then. So within 3 years, a lot of the big cities themselves, obviously the infrastructure is still standing. 3 years is not enough time for nature to reclaim what was once its. But at that same time, it is starting to destroy amongst itself with nobody, one, having the ability to take care of the city itself. So a lot of your apartments and your larger buildings are starting to get overgrown by vegetation. And for the most part, most of the vegetation is fine. It didn't take long to realize if there's any black ink associated even close to the vegetation, you just don't go near it. Anything black or any black ink, you just stay away from as far as possible, because if it gets close to you, you've all seen and or heard the outcomes of that. So, Jack, you are traveling through probably the outskirts of the city. You probably just got done helping out some individuals along the way, and you find yourself hearing the sound that everybody knows to run and hide from. You hear the blood-curdling wailing echoing through these silent streets.
Mm-hmm.
It's bouncing off of the walls, and there's not enough vegetation to absorb the sound, so you can't tell where it's coming from, but you know it's close. What do you do?
Okay. Are there any? Is it just like? Am I like in like a center of a street, or is there like? I'm on the like edge of it, or is there buildings around me?
You're more or less in the downtown center of what city did we say this? Bag of Bones.
Okay.
But the streets are empty from what you can tell. There's windows and doors open, but you don't know what's on the other side of them. From what you can see, there's plenty of places to run and hide, but what's inside that darkness is going to be, could be fortuitous, could be the end of Jack.
Okay. So I'm going to pull out my pocket knife
Okay.
and basically hold it close, more like, not like hand it, but like Michael Myers slash type of deal.
Okay.
Yeah. So more like this, and kind of crouch and honestly keep myself small and ready for action.
Let's go ahead and get our first dice roll of the day. Go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Okay. Let's see what I have in stealth. A -1.
Oh, shucks. I totally didn't do that on purpose.
A 1.
Britt introducing mechanics to us very early on, which makes me so fucking happy. You failed the checker and now in a compromised position. So let's discuss what compromised positions are. The compromised mechanic is a way to create narrative situations with high tension. I didn't even have to do that myself. Britt did it herself. Being compromised, it means you're in a situation that is now easier for someone else to take advantage of, where the environment or your skills have worked against you. And where in most cases your survival is only priority, I get to make moves based upon that. So results rolled with compromise. All right, that's not important here, but you do take 3 stress.
Okay.
So on your character sheet, go ahead and fill in your stress tracker. Once you hit that first red square, do let me know because that will filter into conditions. So your first red square will be faltered. You falter or hesitate, causing you to waste precious time. Do only 1 action on your turn or hesitate during your response in a narrative situation. You're not there yet, but that will be that first stress level for you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm 1 under, so.
So Britt, as you kind of make your way into one of the closest buildings to you, because while it's not the best to run into the dark, it's much better to be able to work with things that have some level of cover or things to hide and put yourself between anything ink related. But unfortunately for you, as you make your way into this building, you hear another scream, but this time it is much closer. Not only is it in the same building, it is simply down the hall from you. As the lights are barely breaking through the broken windows, you make your way. As you look down the hallway, you see a dark silhouette with just drippings falling from its face as it slowly speeds up and begins running towards you. Doodle, what you doing?
Right now?
Yeah, what's your character doing?
I'm listening to you right now.
What's Rowdy got going on?
Rowdy? Oh man. Probably thinking about fucking something that he can't. And then he's a sex addict, you know, so it's been a battle for him. Right now, I would say he's just chilling in a camp that he made, you know, in the outskirts of Bag of Bones.
Okay,
He's kind
and
of by himself.
is Rowdy usually running solo most of the time?
Yeah, he's a solo kind of guy. He never really stuck with circles. When everything went down, he kind of said fuck everyone and went and did his own thing.
So we know that Rowdy was a generational, not just a gigolo, a generational gigolo.
Third generation, yep.
Third generation. So he was. God damn it, that's so fucking good. Since the apocalypse, obviously, most people's lives had been severely fucked up. I would say a gigolo's profession might be one of the most hard hits. What?
Pun intended. Yeah.
I tried like going through it and I couldn't do it. How does Rowdy spend most of his days?
Most of his days, he's a wanderer. Very minimalistic in what he requires as far as just food and water. Kind of does a good job of using that sparingly. He used to be fairly built, but then, you know, as in the apocalyptic world, as time has gone on, he's lost a lot of his muscle mass, so he's very becoming skinnier.
Okay.
But spends most of the day wandering just looking for new places to settle down and see if he finds anything nearby he can use.
Okay. So I'd say you're probably on your way to Vagabond City then. Obviously, you can't stay in one location because you have to constantly find what few supplies are still out there. Can you give me an alertness check, please?
Alertness check?
Yep.
Like how much?
So you're going to roll a
Right.
d20, and whatever your number is, you're going to add +3 to that.
Bet. It's a 9.
All right, so 9 total, or you rolled a 9?
I rolled a 9, so 12.
So 12 total. That's a partial success. I'm not going to give you a stress towards that because this is just going to be a situational. As you are making your way through, you said you're mostly a camper most of the time. So do you find yourself city camping, like making your way through high rises to set up camp, or do you try to like find your way into like wooded areas to set up shop?
If I can find a high-rise area, I will, but you know, since most of the time is just spent wandering, I'm perfectly okay falling asleep in the dirt outside. Fair
enough. I would say in this circumstance, you found yourself setting up camp for the evening. You found yourself on the probably 6th floor of a building in Vagabond. You've got an open view to the city so you can see if anything's going on. You've cleared the floor. Everything appears to be okay. And you've got multiple escape routes. But regardless of that, no matter where you go, you cannot escape these screams. And once again, not only do you hear one of the screams, but you see a survivor quickly move from the street into an abandoned building. Do you do anything with that?
I stay observant of it, but I don't necessarily move in immediately to see who they are or what they're doing.
Fair enough. All right, Farles, what's the Don doing?
The Don is, excuse me. He's on like a cross-country trip trying to get back home. When the outbreak happened, he was on a camping trip for a month and didn't know what was happening until he came back and was like, "What the hell?" So he usually travels alone. He doesn't really like other people. He thinks that strong survive. I'm the Don, whatever.
Or whatever.
He's got it going on. He's the Don. And whenever he walks into like an area with people, he's like, "Yeah, I'm the Don." But right now, I'd say he's probably passing through. Was it Vagabond?
Vagabond City.
Vagabond City.
Britt didn't like that name when I gave it to her.
Did I say anything about it? No.
No, you hit me with the ellipses. You hit me with the ...
I thought it said Bag of Bones. That's why.
Is that
I was like, why did you name it Bag of Bones?
Because there's the first sounds that came to my mind when you asked for a city name.
Oh. So you made it up on the spot.
Yeah.
Nice. I think what the Don is here because a long time ago he had a big wrestling match, like a cage match, where he won I don't even remember what the belt that you win when you win stuff in wrestling in the big arena in Bag of Bones City. And he was just kind of living through the past, walking around, hanging out. He'd just finished his camp, like packed it up and was ready to walk, and just kind of wandering through the streets, being the Don.
So you said he had a cross-country. How did he get cross-country in the middle of an apocalypse?
Oh, he's been walking for 3 years.
Just been hoofing it?
He's just kind of hanging out, killing things, eating things.
Let's see then. What's the Don looking like? All right, so we'll say, just for comedic sake, today's your first day back in Vagabond. And weirdly enough, you haven't heard the screeching in an uncomfortable amount of time, because everywhere got hit. There's nobody safe. Middle of nowhere, everybody was infected because this plague spread across the world in such an infinitesimal speed that nothing could be done about it. Those that were left surviving weren't exactly grateful, because they now live in this apocalyptic world where no help will ever come, and they know it's the end of times. Let's go ahead and get an alert roll from you as well, Farles.
Yeah. Ready for this one? that's I rolled a 1.
Nope, doesn't matter. It's just a 1.
But I don't get my +3.
No, you don't.
No. All right, that dice is going back in the bag.
Vital gem, right away.
Uh-oh.
All right, so you also are now in a compromised position. You need to take 3 stress.
Oh, I'm taking it.
We're gonna leave that one. Rowdy. So actually,
you
what
guys aren't fucking enough. That's why you guys are getting stressed out. You see,
Too stressed out.
So
Like,
Rowdy,
I have
not
plenty
only
of
do
relief.
you see one silhouetted individual run into a building, you see a fairly burly man walking through the streets, unaware of his surroundings, as you see 2 of these creatures appear from out of windows and are now charging at him in the middle of this road. Does that change your response to what you're doing?
No, I'm still watching. Like I don't know these people, and because I've been very much solo, like I'm very much observant of just how they handle things. I'm not just gonna jump in, because if I do ever link up with people, they need to be able to hold their own. Is his mindset.
I respect
Mine's
it.
his business.
All right,
Yeah.
Britt. So Jack is witnessing one of these creatures sprinting Naruto style, arms back, head forward, directly at you.
At me?
Hell yeah.
At
I
you.
love that.
What do you do? In your surroundings, you've got a couple desks kind of tossed over because everything has been rummaged between, but it's a fairly straight opening for this creature to make its way towards you. So you can make it back out into the road, or you can try to do something against this creature charging you.
I'm probably gonna try to make it back to the road
Okay.
because I don't want to get cornered.
Give me an athletics check.
Sick. 19 plus 2, so at 21.
All right. So with a 20 or
Ooh.
higher, you get what you want with something extra as well. Reduce stress by 1.
Okay, cool.
So Jack, this isn't the first time you've seen one of these creatures. You don't know what it is, but you know mostly what they're capable of. And it's usually ungodly, disgusting things, as their limbs will disconnect as they use them as weapons. They'll tear off their own flesh to throw it at you. But this creature breaks down onto all 4s and begins running on them before jumping on top of the desk and lunging directly at you. Its mouth opening up in an ungodly sense as its jaw unhinges, gnarled teeth and glass in its mouth. And as it's making its way towards you, you manage to roll out of this way as this creature smacks into the wall behind you. As you make your way out into the road, you do see 3 individuals. One of them is a perfectly normal individual. Unfortunately, the other 2 are the same creatures that just attacked you. Farles,
Yeah.
you've
That's
got a creature running at you.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I think I'm going to point at it and say, the Don doesn't like being attacked. And then he's going to take out his rifle. I just decided that was a thing right now, so we're going with it.
All right, so I just want to clarify. You want to use a long rifle at close range.
I mean, I thought you said they were far away. Are they just fast? Fine,
Yeah.
You know what? Instead, he's going to take out his...
I'm going to be honest. I think you're okay. There's no advantage or disadvantage in this game. So if you want to use a long rifle to shoot it, I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah, all he has is a rifle
Sure.
and, like, fisticuffs. So I think first he's going to take out the rifle and start...
Okay, go ahead and give me
bangarang.
a long rifle. So
Oh,
that's going to
I
be
will.
+3.
I'll give you a long rifle.
God, I hope so. I've been waiting so damn
That's a
long.
6.
Excuse me,
That
what
is
the
a
fuck?
6. This
6
dice is
total?
going back in the bag. Yep. 6
All right,
total.
so as you pull out the long rifle, you realize, oh god, this is much too close to pull off a shot. And as you go to rack around, you see the creature aware of what you are doing as it kind of contorts his body to dip out of the way. I do need you to give me a...
I'm in so much trouble.
Wasted ammo check. Where was that sheet at?
I also sorry, go ahead.
It's
This PDF takes a second for it to like give me my
To load. I feel
yeah.
like I've been there.
All right. So
the dawn is
you-
about to smell what they're cooking. By the way,
I need you to roll me a d6, please.
Yeah. Oh, I'll roll you a d6. That's a 1. Hey, that's good,
Okay.
right?
So yeah, as you go to slide this round in, you manage to let it off, but as you are pulling rounds out of your pocket, one does fall at your feet. You pull the trigger, but this creature contorts its body in a way that it almost unravels itself in this like liquid as it forms around the gunshots, as it recontorts itself back into this one humanoid-esque shape, as it ducks in and takes a slashing strike at your chest. And I'm going to need you to take 2 points of damage for me, please. And because you failed, I also need you to take 2 points of stress, which puts you in a conflict level 1. So on your next turn, you are only going to be able to make one action.
The
Fucking
Don is in a
symbiotes,
lot
man.
of danger.
Doodle, as you are kind
Yeah.
of just sitting in your high rise, sitting back in a little lawn chair that you had found, I'm assuming just kind of sitting on the balcony, kind of observing this shit happen at your feet.
Oh yeah.
This creature that you just watched turn like liquefy itself to dodge, that's a new thing. That's not something that anything in your circumstance you have come across before. But you see it kind of contort itself away and then slash at this individual's chest. And you see another one coming up, running up behind him to flank him. Do you say anything? Do you do anything? Or do you think you're just going to keep sitting back and watching what happens here?
I think at this point, I'm thinking, oh fuck, like so some Venom type shit happening here. And since it's 2 new ones, I feel the need to actually be useful.
Okay.
It's a new feeling that he's not used to. He's for some reason feeling like that guy's fucked because that's some wild shit. So I feel the need to yell to let him know there's something coming and make my way down to assist.
Okay. Give me a... Where was your character sheet? I've got like 6 different tabs open trying to bounce between character sheets. It's not great.
the joys of being a GM.
Well, the issue is because you guys resent them to me, and I opened them via Discord, they opened for Firefox, but the ones I had saved on my computer opened via Edge. So I currently have Google, Edge, and Firefox open, tabbing between all this bullshit. All right, Rowdy, give me a... How do you plan on getting down?
You know, because I'm still fairly athletic, I'm gonna like sprint down the stairs.
Okay. So that is going to take probably, I'd say probably take 2 rounds of combat for you to be able to make it down 6 flights of steps. No, let's actually change that. Go ahead and give me an athletics check and let's see how long that takes you to get down. Your athletics is +1.
I rolled a 14, so does that make it 17?
So with it being a +1, so that would just make it a 15.
15? Okay, there
Yep.
you go.
All right, so that is a partial success. So you are going to be able to get down the stairs, but seeing this new creature kind of explode itself and attack somebody, you feel stress come over your body. So go ahead and take a point of stress for me as you're trying to make your way down these steps as quickly as you possibly can.
Okay.
Britt, you make your way back outside, and you've got the creature behind you, but before you, you see 3 silhouetted individuals, I'd say probably about 50 feet away from you. One of them you just saw slash at this individual in the middle, so it's probably safe to assume it's some type of prey being hunted. But you do see another one getting ready to jump onto this individual's back. What do you do?
I'm gonna take the rifle off my back and out of midair.
Give me a long rifle check, please. At -2.
Yep.
Farl's just got real concerned.
A 19.
All right, so
Let's go.
So
is that-
17.
So 17. All right. Go ahead. Unfortunately, I don't think you do much damage. So we got to go back to our sheet here. So with a skill modifier between -5 and -1, unfortunately, you will only do 2 damage. Unfortunately, I do need you to roll me a d12, please.
Oh god. Okay, give me a second. I have to get it out.
That's what she said.
That's a d10. Three.
Okay, so as you are running out of this room, you pull the long rifle off of your back. You dig into your pocket trying to find a few rounds, and you hear the clinking of metal on concrete as you drop 3 rounds. You manage to rack one and pull the trigger, and for a brief moment, you're unsure of who is taking this bullet. But Farles, as you are kind of curled over as this hit, you see out of the corner of your eye another creature lunging at you, but a bullet rips through its rib cage and tosses it onto its side as it kind of skids across the road and struggles to get back to its feet. Farles, what do you do?
First, he's gonna look over and say, "The Don is appreciative," and then he's going to try to just, use his fists and start beating up the one that attacked him.
So you are going with an unarmed attack for this one.
Yeah.
All right.
Also,
so that
quick
will be a.
question.
Go ahead.
Are we allowed to swear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because I just wanted to show you this cool dice that I have, but the one says, I don't know if you can see that. It says
Fuck.
Forgot about that one.
That's so good. All right, give me a d20, and then we will be adding +4 for your unarmed combat.
Hell yeah. That's a 9 + 4 is a 13.
So with a 13. All right, so with a 13, that is a partial success. Failing forward, you get what you want, but with a complication, take 1 stress. Tell me what this attack looks like.
So I think like after the thing hit me, the Don with his just meaty fists, with the left hook, his classic left hook. I think he probably has a name for it too. And he's gonna yell it at the same
The
time and
Don's
say
left
"uppercut of justice" and like punch him in the face.
Roll a d20 so if you actually call it that. No, do it. Do it.
All right.
Otherwise,
all
I'm going
right.
to name it something dumb.
That's an 8.
Okay.
Jeez.
I
So
was gonna call it
as
the pork chop.
Ooh. Do you say pork chop?
The
That's a
pork
much
chop.
better name. And you
For
want
the
to do that
Don's
pork
D.
chop, like Falcon Punch kind of deal.
So as your fist goes flying up, you manage to make great contact underneath this creature's jaw, and your fist begins to go through the liquid as you feel it begin to run down your arm. And you find yourself with your fist in this creature's mouth, but the hole that you just made in its jaw seals your hand shut. Did I tell you to take 1 stress? Because if not, take a stress.
Oh, I did take a stress. The Don is pretty stressed out at this point.
All right. Doodle, you are making your way
Yeah.
down these steps.
Hell yeah.
Let's see here. Do you want to try to do anything to expedite your progression down these steps any quicker?
If there is a gap between, like in the middle of the stairs, like a stairwell, I jump down a few of those.
Let me get another athletics check from you, please.
I got a 3, so 4.
Oh no!
Just bust his kneecap.
2 to 9. You don't get what you want. Take 2 stress. So we've all seen it. The parkour people that just like fall in between stairs and just like grab the railing on the way down. Rowdy's like, I can for sure do that.
Parkour.
My name's Rowdy. I can do anything I need to.
So as you go,
Confident motherfucker.
you drop down and you catch one of the railings, but there's some type of grease on it, so your fingers slip and your feet smack one layer or one flight of stairs as you flip head over feet, catching yourself on a railing, and just tumbling to the side of the stairs. You made it down a couple flights, so you got there quicker. I am going to need you to give me you're going to take a point of damage from that. And again, the 2 points of stress as the wind gets knocked out of you.
Jesus.
Wait, I have to get another 2 points of stress?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm one above that red box.
All right. So again, with that red box, that gives you the falter condition. So on your next turn, you are only going to be able to take 1 action.
Got it.
All right. So this
But
time
I did
around,
make it down a couple. With every failure is a little success.
Britt, as you pull the trigger, as Jack pulls the trigger, and you feel joy for a brief moment, which is such a weird feeling to have because it's been a long time since you've had any type of positive emotion. You just succeeded in a crazy shot. You caught a creature midair, but what you seem to forget was the creature behind you. And it capitalizes on these emotions as you feel claws shoot out from behind you as it grabs your ankle, digging its talons into your calf. As you can feel it begin to slingshot itself from this dark entryway as it begins to bullet missile towards you, trying to set up another attack. What would you like to do, Britt?
I'm gonna take my rifle that I just and basically shove it backwards towards its face.
Okay.
In order to basically melee it.
Yeah.
With my rifle.
So it's going to be a melee weapons attack. That's just going to be +0, so it's going to be a straight D20 roll.
17, baby.
All right, yeah. So with that 17, you just take a shot in the dark, bringing that rifle backwards. And as you feel it connect with this creature's face, you can feel the rifle go into this creature as it begins to separate itself down the middle as it tears. You hear the flesh and bone crack as the cartilage begins to tear away from itself. Ink and blood dropping to the floor beneath you as this creature lets go and kind of rolls and skids past you, and it's not in great shape.
That was a description.
That was disgusting.
Farles, you are face to face with a creature. You see your hand inside its mouth, and you cannot get your hand free. But unfortunately, there is another creature behind you that is now getting up and running at you. And you see the creature that has your hand in its mouth as it begins to just drop its body weight to get you to contort over it. As you see this other creature, or you can feel this other creature pouncing on top of you. Give me a survival, please.
Oh, yeah, I will. Oh, that's a +4. Look at me. That's 19 with the +4.
Okay, so how would the Don get out of this situation?
I think he will realize that thing's trying to like throw him off balance and say, "The Don wants pork chop back." And then he's gonna like use his foot to try to like kick and pull out. You know, he's pretty good at that from past experience. fighting these monsters.
Yep. So I actually need a flashback here. So the Don was in a 2-on-1 fight. You were kind of hurled over and crunched over this really heavyweight fighter, and you knew his partner just came off the top rope as he's flying through the air, doing his signal, just giving the people's elbow down on you. As you kind of like, oh shit, I've done this before. I got this. You kind of tuck and roll and kind of roll yourself underneath this other creature as this creature comes flying into the pavement. And again, doing things that you guys have not seen these creatures do before. As the creature hits the ground, much like any type of liquid hitting the surface, it explodes outward, getting that sound as ink shoots outwards. And this creature loses some size as the ink kind of shoots out in all of these directions.
Juicy.
I don't think
that was in character, I guess.
Descriptions. Doodle, you are Rowdy is lying on the stairs trying to catch his breath. To your calculations, you think you have a flight of steps left, and it should just be a straight line out the door to the street. As you kind of get up and you kind of limp your way down the steps, and you do see in between broken glass light shining on you as you see this creature jump on or try to jump onto the back of this individual as you see him tuck and roll. And you remember seeing this situation where you were at a match much like this, where you saw a small person flying off the top rope, dropping onto the mats. And then you're immediately brought back to, this really shit circumstance that you were trying to find yourself in. As you push past the open doors onto the road, there are two creatures in front of you, and off to the right, you see another creature that just got slingshot from the darkness. And so there's three creatures out on the road, relatively close to you. What would you like to do?
Oh, man. I probably react to the one that I see, like the Dawn, I guess, like pulling out of, or whoever the figure is.
Yeah, he pulled out.
And he pulled out of it. expert here, so I'm familiar with that tactic. And
I bet you made this flip cover, don't you, Britt?
Yep. Which, by the way, Cam looks so much better.
We better knock on wood, man. We're about to get real upset when we get done with all this and see everything.
I'm going to say that I charge at that figure and I try to fight it with no weapon, just my hands.
So you go in unarmed combat?
Yeah, I'm going unarmed combat, and I'm going to try to jump on the creature's back and try to basically see if I can just rip its head off.
Sure. All right, give me a D20 plus 4.
All right. 16 plus 4, 20.
That's it. Oh my God. Fuck yeah. All right.
Snaps for Doodle.
All right. So during combat, a 20 plus, double the total attack damage of your attack. The target is now compromised. Oh, if they're a PC, ignore that part. So you get to reduce your stress by 1. Nice. And with you being able to do double damage on this one, you do exactly that. Has Rowdy killed before?
The creatures, never a human.
Okay. So this isn't, and most people killing their first time have that moment of, can I do this? But Rowdy, this isn't the first time you have taken a life. And so as you jump onto the back of this creature, you feel the ooze kind of seep onto your skin, but not in the way like it used to. Before, you couldn't touch the black ink. But as time has moved on, the ink it's no longer physically toxic. It has to be ingested now. So you jump onto the back of this creature. As you reach around, grabbing at its neck, you able to rip off this black ink and fungus off. And for a brief moment, you see the face of a human long ago. You could tell this was probably one of the first infected, as their skin is long gone. Mostly it's a combination of what little flesh is left, skull, and this fungus that has kind of mutated inside of the bone. But it's very brief as you hear the bone crack, and it also and the ink almost sizzles as it is separated from the carcass of this body. As you see the head roll as a bowling ball down the road, the body goes limp.
Amazing.
Rowdy knows how to get fucking rowdy. I'm fucking shit up.
Britt, you just saw this creature get slungshot past you. You see an individual come running out of a building, jump on top of the back of one of these creatures, and you just see a head go rolling across the road. What does Jack do?
Are any of these still a threat?
2 of them are still a threat.
Okay, so I would probably...
The one you were fighting is a threat, and the one Farles is engaged with is currently a threat.
Okay, so I'm probably going to finish off, or at least try to finish off the one that is still a threat to me.
Okay.
Are they on the ground?
It is on the ground, and it's not looking great.
Okay, so I'm probably going to take my shotgun and just smash its brains into the ground.
Give me another melee attack.
15.
All right, so with a 15, that is a partial success. Failing for it, you get what you want, but it's a complication. You take a stress.
Okay.
But as you drive the butt of the rifle into the skull of this creature, it cracks perfectly down the middle. As you see from the top of its head down to its nose just crack open, as you see bugs begin to crawl out of this skull and scatter on top of the ink and then disappear into nothingness as the creature stops moving. Farles, you just rolled underneath this creature to stop the people's elbow from hitting you. You watch this random survivor come out of nowhere and rip the head off of this creature. What do you do to the one that you are currently engaged with?
I think first I look right at Rowdy and say, what does he say? This isn't the first time that Don has seen you in action. And then he's just gonna try to and then I'm gonna try to. So he's on top of me, right? The gooey dude.
Yep.
Okay. So I think the Don is going to, much like he's done in the past, kind of like do like a kick and like flip him off of me, but like kick
like
him
feet
as
into
hard
the
as he
hips,
can.
grab the lapel, and go over.
And he's gonna say, pork rolls, and he flips him over. I'm leaning into it. It's all pork based moves now. So.
It's canon.
All right, you can give me either unarmed combat or survival. I'll take either.
That is a 19.
So with a 19, yeah, you do exactly that. You drive your hips, or you drive the balls of your feet into its hips. You grab more or less the lapel of it as you hip up, going over your own head to take full mount on top of this creature. How do you want to kill it?
I'm just gonna stomp on its face and say, you gotta think of a move for that. He's gonna say pork belly stomp, and then just stomp right in his face.
Ground pork.
Ground
Shit,
pork.
That's so much better. Ground pork.
As you drive your heel into this creature's head, it splinters at your feet. Ink goes flying, brain matter goes flying, fungus goes flying, skull shards go flying. And for a moment, you see an arm kind of shoot up towards you, like even though without this head, it's still able to fight. But as it shoots forward, you see it just stop as the ink falls to the ground below as the arm falls limp next to you. And you guys are out of combat.
I don't know. That'd be great.
At like the sight of a reduced threat, Jack is gonna like put her rifle back and like but keep like her hand on her handgun just because she doesn't know who these two people are.
Okay.
But like give them looks like and kind of assess what's going on.
I think I've seen his videos.
Oh. No, that is not going through my head.
Rowdy, the Don, what are you two doing as you guys are sitting in the middle of this road, ink everywhere?
I walk over to the Don and just make sure he's good, check on him, and I like point at him and be like, "Weren't you that guy from that one guy thing where you like battled and wrestled other guys?" It's like what I say to him. And
I think you're referring to the 4-time world champion wrestling federation winner, the Don. And I'll shake his hand.
Yeah, and I say, you know, I think I had you in the back, one of your matches in the background one time when I was performing myself.
The Don remembers Star Horse 7.
I say, hey, I won a boner award for that.
I need a quick note. I need somebody to make art for, like, the cover art for Star Wars 7. That's how I want to promote this episode, is the porn cover of Star Horse 7, and then just the RPG project is on the TV.
I hate it here.
Oh no.
So is the Don like having trouble moving with the gash that happened to him in his chest?
Oh yeah, I'm hurt. I forgot about that.
Yeah, how much damage did you take?
2, only 2, but I'm
Okay.
pretty stressed out. I've got like 6 stress.
Yeah, what is everybody's stress level right now?
4.
Okay. All right, Jack, were you going to make your way towards these other two, or are you going to kind of go off and keep doing your own thing?
I'm probably going to go over and just say thank you and check to see if they need medical assistance.
Okay, well, I will let you guys go ahead and take over this scene, and then I will kind of jump back in if I need to.
Thanks back there. It kind of had me cornered over, and I didn't know it would bring more to the street. So that's on me. So I'm sorry. Do any of you guys need bandaged up?
The Don is bleeding.
Does the Don need help?
The Don would appreciate assistance.
I will assist you. And she starts
Nice shot
rummaging
back
through.
there. Sorry.
I say, yeah, you guys would have been fucked if I didn't come back down.
Would I have seen him? Oh no, I probably, because it's behind. The stairs weren't open; they were behind. Like,
Yeah, you would have no idea that he fell down the stairs.
Would we have heard like a smack and like an ow?
I'm sure, yeah. There was a commotion and definitely a fuck.
Sure. All right.
Brett, if you were going to attempt to do a medicine check, go ahead. Or if you're going to attempt to like, actually treat wounds, go ahead and give me a medicine check, please.
Wouldn't it be maybe first aid?
I'm okay with first aid, yeah.
Well, medicine or first aid, I got +3 and +4, so
They're the same thing. I'm okay with either.
okay. That is a 16 + 4, so that's a 20.
All right, so that is a critical success. So the Don is actually able to increase his HP by 2, so you're able to heal that 2 there.
Sweet.
And would I go down in 1 medical supply?
You would go down 1 medical supply, correct?
Okay. And I don't think I have any ammo left because I dropped 3, correct?
Correct.
Would I have I only had 1 ammo.
I think that's 50 bullets. I think 1 ammo is 50 bullets, right? something like that. Oh, here, yeah, it's on page 16, or PDF page 13 for surviving. It says, let's see, 4 units of ammo, 50 bullets equal 1 unit.
Oh, perfect. Then yeah. So obviously, I don't think you're going to go through that many rounds. We'll keep track of how often
Okay.
you lose things. But yeah, technically, you still have your unit, but we're going to have to just retroactively kind of keep track of.
Okay, so I'm going to just say I have 47.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you guys are talking amongst the streets, though, you guys begin to hear the wails. But this time, it's less just wailing, because you begin to hear one cry out, but then you almost hear a response, and then you hear another chime in from another direction.
What time is it? What time is it?
It's about 7:30 in the evening. The
So
sun
we're
is
getting-
beginning to set.
Okay.
I for sure am like, even with hearing that, it's been nice. I'm not going towards that.
Well, they're coming from 3 different directions.
I say that, hey, I'm...
If anybody wanted to give me an
getting...
insight check.
Okay, I'll do it. What's my insight?
I have a 0.
Rowdy's insight is 3.
Oh, okay.
I'll actually take insight or survival. I'm okay with either.
Let's see. 12 plus the 3, 15.
So 15. So you have been in this game long enough to understand. You don't know for sure, but it's almost like they're communicating to triangulate some pack tactics.
I suggest to them that I think they're trying to find a way to corner us. I suggest, where I was staying at the top of that as a secure area where we can see everything proper and not be seen. And I offer them the opportunity to come up if they want. And if they don't, I make my way up there on my own.
Okay. So you guys see Rowdy just offer this to you and then turn on his heels and walk back towards the building you saw him darting out of.
Jack is gonna take his offer because she's not gonna be stuck somewhere in the middle of the night. Because I'm only she tries not to stay out when it's dark, just because of what happened last time when they decided to move in the dark. So she's going to take his offer because she'd rather die by the hands of another survivor than that of the Horde.
Ooh, noted. I mean,
it's hardcore.
What's the Don doing?
The Don will join them upstairs.
Okay. As you guys are making your way up the stairs, you guys actually see one of the rails is dented on the top side of it. And you see that dust is kind of like dissipated off one set of the stairs, almost in like the outline of a body that kind of like slid across the stairs.
Would we notice him limping, or
give me an investigation.
13.
I would say, yeah, with a 13, you do see, it's not a massive limp, but you do see like he steps on his like left foot. You can almost kind of see him like tilt that way just slightly, but not enough where it's causing him much discomfort or anything.
Okay.
But yeah, you guys make your way back up to the 6th floor. And Doodle, tell us about this little space that you've kind of taken over for yourself. Have you like reinforced it for like any long-term usage, or is this like a one-night stay before you move on?
Because I'm a wanderer, it's a one-night stay. It has a great overlook of everything in the city, and you can almost see on the outskirts of the city as well because of the building and where it's located. But you don't, as far as much of a camp, I don't really have much of one because I travel light.
Okay.
And I just sleep on grounds.
Sure.
But I do just let them know, like, hey, like I heard it from over here and here. Those are the areas we should be looking out for.
And I would say this is probably like an old conference room. So there's going to be multiple doorways, two that kind of come into the conference room, but then on like the far end walls, you're going to have doorways that go into other rooms. One of them has been completely barricaded off. From what you can tell, you can't get in there. And then the other room kind of just veers off into like a small office. Both rooms are absolutely trashed. Paper everywhere, tables and chairs are overturned. The only thing that is been kept up are like the blinds, because they were closed for the most part while all of this took place. So you could close off the blinds and actually turn them shut, and actually close off any visuals from the outside world into the conference room.
Okay, I decide to pull them close, or I go to pull them close, and if anyone wants to stop me, I listen.
I'm not going to oppose. I'm probably going to help secure the rest of the doors, and
Sure.
like probably investigate, like check, like even though the door is barricaded, check to see like how well it's gonna hold. Check that other office to see if there's
Okay,
anything
I'll give
working.
you guys one action for the night. You can
Okay.
either go loot, which we'll make like an investigation, or if you want to kind of reinforce the room for your guys' protection this evening, give me a survival. Or if there's anything else you want to do, let me know, and we can figure out what checks we're going to do for that.
I'd rather loot than.
You'd rather loot?
Well, because
Alright,
I'm
so-
gonna look for a first aid kit of
Okay.
some sort, like to see if there's anything,
Yeah,
any type
go
of
ahead.
alcohol for antiseptic or anything like that.
Sure, go ahead and give me let me double check how loot drops work in this game.
It's gonna be a 13.
I see the sheets. All right, survival in the world of the corrupted and the conflicts and the PCs will have are their own plots that will play out during sessions. However, it helps with becoming bigger. Oh, that doesn't help me. So we're just gonna kind of improvise here.
To keep things simple, when a PC raids a home or facility for resources, what they obtain in return is measured in units. Rather than say you find a rotisserie chicken and 8 cans of black beans, they would just be equated to a number of whatever.
What page is that on?
13.
13.
It's under surviving. It's paragraph 2.
Thank you. All right. To keep things, yep, there. All right. Not worried about that. The GM will determine how many units of each necessary resource are available at each location before the PC begins to search it. So then I guess I could play off of this chart. So you said you got a 13?
Mm-hmm.
And that was a mixed success, I believe. It's a partial success. So go ahead and roll me a D4, please.
Four.
So you managed to find 2 medical supplies.
Okay.
Nice.
And then we'll kind of, like it says, nothing specific when it comes up, whether it be disinfectant or whatever you need later as usage. We'll just retcon to say that's what you found.
Cool.
Farles, what are you doing this evening?
I think the Don would most likely be like barricading and making this place as safe as it can be.
Okay, go ahead and give me a survival, and we'll see how well that goes.
Oh, we'll see how well that goes. That's a 7 in total. So I just start ripping open walls and redecorating and making more holes.
So how that plays out is, as you're kind of going through to like look for things to kind of reinforce, with this being in the city, this had been looted long ago. Anything of vital usage has been taken. Doors have been chopped up to already be turned into either weapons or firewood. There's holes in walls everywhere. Tables have kind of broken up and been into splinters. So you can kind of shove things in front of doors, but they're going to be nothing more than an inconvenience to have to like cautiously step over, and you can't just like passively walk into the room.
I'm imagining like the world's shittiest like Lincoln Logs structure built right in front of the door. And like the Don has completed his safety procedures, and then you just like kick it over and it just falls.
All right, Doodle. What's Rowdy doing this evening?
Rowdy's watching what the fuck the Don is doing with my feet kicked up laughing.
You know, I think I shot this intro before.
And I decide to be cocky and try to show him how it's done.
Okay, go ahead and give me a survival then.
A 5 + 3, so 8.
As you go to like assist the Don, like, you stupid motherfucker. You just walk through everything he built and the pieces just break even more. So now instead of like any like big pieces, it's like just sawdust is basically piling up in front of the door as all these pieces have splintered on top of it and just fallen into the cracks of all these other things.
I think
Great.
Jack's gonna like be walking in with like the supplies and like just take a look at the chaos. But the two are like and I feel like one of her conflicts is being paired up with people who are complete idiots. Like
Brit's
one
just
of
role
her-
playing herself at this point.
like
Damn.
one of her fears is like
Heather's
one of-
incompetence getting her killed.
yeah, pretty much who she's like with is just gonna get her killed.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
like-
that's
like I-
fair.
So like what I said was like she would rather be killed at the hand of a survivor than the infected. So yeah.
All right. So what does dinner
mean-
look like for you guys? Is this going to be like a communal hangout dinner? Do you guys kind of just like go off to your own corners and?
I'm not Jack wouldn't be rude. She would break out her one of the boxes of saltines and share them. Like
All right. So Jack brings
I'm
saltines to the table. What do you guys bring to the table?
I'm reluctant to accept help from people because I'm a wanderer and a solo guy. So I like go and like make a little chill cubby corner for myself and sit over there, and I'm hoping to find something of use in my bag to eat.
Well, I mean, you've got 6 rations of food, so you have food. It's just determined whatever you want to eat this evening, whether it be
Got
canned
it.
food or some type of dry good or whatever you see.
I
fit.
bring out like a little good sized can of beans. And
Keeping it classic.
yeah, and I'm just chilling. I'm not hiding that I'm eating it, but I'm not like near them.
Fair
either.
enough. All right, what's the Don eating for dinner?
The Don loves saltines. And then I'm also going to take out, I wrote down, I don't know why, that I have 4 salt cured venison. So I'm going to take out some like basically like venison jerky.
I thought you were a
I don't know
pork
why.
guy.
I don't know why I decided that was what I have, but I also
Hey.
have 2 pecks of apples. Oh.
2
Guys,
packs of
I've-
apples, not bushels.
Yeah.
Packs of apples.
No, I said pecks, like a peck of apples, not a pack.
what the
isn't a
fuck's a
peck 3
peck of
bushels?
apples? What? I thought,
Isn't a peck 3? I don't know.
is that a thing?
I think
Yeah, it is.
so.
'Cause you like I love you a bushel and a peck.
I've never. What in the white people comment?
Hold
is
on, I'm
that?
You're
it's
white. I
approximately
wouldn't say
10
anything.
pounds.
Albino Cambodian.
10 pounds. A peck is 10 pounds of apple.
Jesus
Yeah, man.
Christ.
Damn.
Okay. Let's we're gonna retcon that to be. I have like 3 apples on me, and I'm gonna pass them out.
So as you guys are munching on the saltine, just fucking eating Popeye's biscuits with no drink, your mouth just immediately removes any ounce of moisture you have left. The 7 saltine challenge is now a single saltine, just how old and dry these fucking things are. But you guys kind of sit there in the dark conference room as the sun sets, all light kind of dissipates as you guys sit amongst yourselves. I'm assuming probably relatively quietly, the occasional small talk. How do you guys set up your beds for the evening?
I'm up against a wall. Like my back is to a wall. I'm gonna sleep sitting up.
I'm really cozy anywhere, so I just lay on the floor and lay on my backpack. Which is the norm for me.
I'm very scared to know how the Don sleeps.
I think so. I think the Don has a camping cot, just like set up a cot in the middle of the room. And he's like, the Don is too old to sleep on the floor.
Felt. All right. So as you guys settle in for the evening, you guys quickly find yourself drifting off to sleep because once the lights are gone, you're just staring into the darkness. There's no reason to stay awake. I would like everybody to give me an alertness check, please.
Great. I'll go last.
I rolled a 8 plus 3, 11.
17.
I rolled an 8.
Jack, you wake up in the middle of the night hearing marching. Uniformed marching. And as you kind of wake up and you head towards the balcony, you move the blinds to the side, and in the moonlight, you see several shadowed figures covered in ink marching down the road in small platoons. It's only 3 groups as they kind of make their way down the road and then branch off in varying directions.
Would I see that they have any weapons or?
You can't make it out in the darkness, but from what you can tell, it's ink-infested humanoids.
Okay. I'm probably gonna go wake up the Dawn and Rowdy, like quietly.
All right. Are you guys easy to wake up, or is it deep enough into the apocalypse that you just sleep through all the bullshit now?
I feel like we'd wake up. I'd wake up quick. I mean, if you're always on your own, you probably wake up super quick.
Yeah, that's valid. So yeah, I'll just give my actual sleep traits. Yeah, I'm a light sleeper. I wake up easily. So, but it's not the marching that wakes me up.
With tongue.
It's not the marching that wakes me up. It's them walking around.
And then kind of as you guys, she wakes you guys up, you hear the uniformed marching. Obviously, it's much more at a distance now because they've already passed your area. But it's definitely going to catch your guard that there is marching of any kind, not only at this hour, but that there's just enough people to march in general.
I'm thinking, what the actual fuck? And questioning it, but not really conversing with them about it, because I'm very much still in that solo mindset of things.
The Don hates the police.
Hey, Cab.
At this point, Jack will probably start packing things up, not necessarily to move out right now, but just in case they have to.
Okay.
So, what's the light outside looking like? Like, is it?
It's like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, so it's like midnight,
it's fucking
like
dark.
middle of the night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Based off the time of year, you would estimate probably another 4 hours before
some sort of sunlight.
sunrise. Yeah.
Okay. So, I think from this point on, even though she hasn't probably gotten much sleep, she's probably going to be on watch going forward.
What do you two do?
I see that she's going on watch, and I'm like, bet, and I go to sleep.
I was gonna say the same thing.
All right. So yeah, time passes. The sun begins to rise. And Britt, while you are on watch, you don't hear any other marching. From what you can tell, nobody came into the building that night. So sun rises, it begins to crack through the blinds as you guys wake up for the start of the next day. What do you do?
I'm opening up an MRE.
Nice. The Don has a percolator, so he's gonna start making coffee.
Inside?
Oh wait, that doesn't make any sense, does it? No.
Farl
He's
is
not
very
gonna do
much
that.
so is I write down the first thing that comes to mind and I deal with the realism afterwards, which I relate to because I'm the same fucking way.
Absolutely. The Don needs his morning coffee.
All right, so we got an
I
MRE, we got some coffee. What you got, Doodle?
I just sit up and I try not to eat in the mornings. I save my food for the evenings, which is why I'm like losing muscle mass because I ration out my food that way. So as they're doing that, I just kind of wake up and sit up and just sit there.
All right, so do you guys plan on staying there that day, or how do you guys plan on spending this day?
Jack is on a mission to the next village, like the next village over. So like she's prepping for that.
Okay.
But I guess she would discuss her plans with them. Just, hey, I'm headed this way. I'm not sure where you guys are headed or if you have plans, but if you want to stick as a group, like I would enjoy the company.
I wait for the Don to answer.
The Don's going that direction anyways. I don't know why the voice just keeps changing, but it's evolving.
At this point, since I'm familiar with who the Don is, like I'm cool with going what direction he goes, but I'm still questioning the nurse because it's kind of like she's very like stiff with things. You can tell.
Okay.
It's Nurse Ratchet.
Nurse Ratchet. So I just kind of like silently am like, okay.
All right.
Just
So you guys
go
get
with
through your breakfast, you make your way through your whatever morning routines you may have. And as you set out back towards, get back on the road, the city is quiet as usual. Very rarely do you actually see people out and about. From your experience, most people do any of their looting between dawn and dusk because obviously limited light, less liability. So during the day, outside of people traveling themselves, you don't usually come across a lot of people. And as you are making your way to the next city, you guys do recognize and understand you are going to have to make your way through a wooded area, a fairly dense, heavy wooded area to get to this next town. And it's probably about a 2 days travel to get there by foot. Do you guys have anything you'd like to talk about in your travels? Or so this is kind of the part in one shots and games where how realistic do you want to get with these survival time trips, because we can actually have time where we talk about conversations like we'll sit down for lunch, have the conversation so you guys can flesh out these characters, or we can kind of play it as I'll roll stuff behind the scenes and then we can kind of interact with what world events may happen.
Okay. I'm okay with conversation. I think that my character is like very much like not used to talking to other people. So he makes like a stupid joke like, it's been a while since I've been part of a threesome.
The Don finds that funny. I think the Don's probably just like play by play, like reliving and out loud his best wrestling matches.
All right, you can't say that and not tell me what the first story of this best wrestling match is.
Oh man, give me like 25 minutes and I'll think of something.
Nope.
No,
On
I'm
the
kidding.
fly, figure it out.
The Don won his first wrestling title against the Joe Man, who was his biggest rival back in the day. And the Don won it by poking him on the shoulder when he got turned around, and he looked around and he pork chopped him right in the jaw.
I always thought wrestling was fake and it was scripted.
The Don disagrees with your assessment.
Jack's just gonna keep walking.
So you guys make this first leg of the trip fairly uneventful. Out of the corner of your eyes, you guys catch some survivors digging through trashes, kind of peering out through upper windows. But you guys begin to make your way through the city fairly uneventful. And as the day progresses, you make your way towards the edge of town into the first leg of this forest adventure. And as you're looking upon the woods, there is so much vegetative growth now with such little human interaction that the trees have begun to kind of take over in a way that it's still day out, but you're having a very hard time seeing in the woods. So travel through the woods is going to be much more challenging because how dark it is. So you're going to have a hard time seeing through any of this. So as you guys make this first leg of the forest trip, I would like a survival check, please.
I got a 19.
Okay.
So plus the
17.
3 is.
Ooh.
Is it possible to go above that?
Yeah.
Above 20? Oh, then I got.
That's when you get to
22.
call everybody else a bitch for being so goddamn good.
I got a 16.
I got 17.
Okay, yeah. So you guys make your first venture into the leg of the woods without much problem. Rowdy is a bit excited, kind of getting to travel, and maybe a little more excited to be around people than he originally thought he would be. As he begins kind of leading the way for you guys as he starts going through the woods, paying attention to the way the creek is flowing to know where you need to veer off here so it's not a problem to continue on later on. And as you guys kind of estimate with the sun tracking kind of in between what parts of the sky you can still see in the woods, the darkness in the woods is obviously getting considerably darker now. As you guys deem it's probably time to set up camp. Do any of you actually have like shelter for outdoor camping, or are you guys just taking it raw?
We always take it raw.
I bareback it because I only have my backpack.
Hashtag parents.
Yeah, I
Oh,
travel
man.
light, so I like lay on my backpack and pull out a nudie mag and just kind of lay there.
How
That
old
was
is it?
It's a classic edition Playboy from the 70s.
Back when I had the good articles.
Yeah,
Great
I like
articles.
to read.
I have matches, so I'm probably gonna start like a very contained fire.
Okay. And do you just make an open fire, clear out debris, or do you dig into the ground to try to hide the fire?
Probably dig in the ground.
Okay. Go ahead and
Um,
give me another survival.
That is a 14.
Yeah, so it getting through some of the brush because none of you have a machete to kind of like clear out some of this ground vegetation. So you do manage to kind of pluck and pick away and get a good chunk of the fire in the ground, but it will be visible. And with it being so dark, it's going to cast a bit of light out. And as you guys are sitting and having dinner, you don't have any problems, but you do hear nature begin to whirl.
Whirling,
Man.
huh?
Whenever nature whirls, you're in for it. You're in for a bad night.
Are you guys all just going to bed? Is anybody going to stay up for watch? Are you guys going to rotate? What's your guys' plan?
I'm playing rock, paper, scissors.
All right, do it right now, live on screen.
We're
Once,
doing it
twice,
on
three,
screen?
shoot.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors. Oh. No, what did you do? Paper?
I did paper.
I got scissors.
Okay, so you take first.
All right. So I pull out a different nudie mag and I just kind of stay away.
All right,
Read some more.
Doodle, while you're on watch, everything's fine.
Ha.
All right, who had second?
Oh, God damn it. Is this based on the rolls that we did previously?
Ready?
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay.
Ah.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
No.
All right, take second.
The Don hates watch.
Yep. You go through your watch, no problems.
The Don loves watch.
Jack, while you're on watch, can I get a alert,
Oh, no.
please?
21, sucker!
Hey. The wind begins to pick up terrifyingly fast. It starts as just a calm breeze as you hear the vegetation begin to rustle. But then the intensity of this wind comes in ferociously. A lot of your guys' stuff begins to get picked up and starts to roll. But if it wasn't for the vegetation being so thick, it probably would have been lost. And with that 21, some of the items that kind of get picked up in the air and start flowing away, you manage to catch. But as you're kind of sitting there, like withstanding this, it doesn't feel natural.
I'm going to take a piece of gauze out of my pack. So I'm going to use a medical supply.
Okay.
And I'm going to wrap it around a stick and catch it on fire. So I have some sort of light.
Sure. And so as you kind of wrap up the gauze and light it on fire, and again, because it's so dark, the light illuminates a fair amount. And as you set up that light, you see red eyes all around the encampment.
Can I roll something that would maybe make me understand what kind of eyes those are?
Give me an investigation.
Okay. 18.
With an 18, you can tell that it is the infected.
Okay.
But they don't. There's so many variety, size, and shape. It doesn't. A lot of them aren't humanoid.
Great.
Are we still asleep, the two of us?
Yes, you two would still be asleep.
Okay.
At this
A little
point,
snore.
I would
That's
probably
good.
back up to where they are sleeping and slightly kick them with my foot, like tap them.
Okay.
And so not to like cause any big movement and to not turn my back on what's in front of me.
Okay. So you two both get kicked. It's middle of the night, and you just look up as you see Jack with a impromptu torch.
The Don is awake.
I'm like, what the fuck do you want?
That's a fair response. He
I already
screams
did
out
my
loud.
watch.
I wouldn't be awaking your sorry ass if there wasn't a problem.
Oh,
I
shit.
need you to get up very slowly and reach for your gun.
Is this a role play?
Jack fucks.
Unless
This
you
isn't
want
the
me to
first time Rowdy's been asked to pull out a gun.
Unless you want me to light your sorry ass on fire. Stand up, like I've told you to. And she's like just barely moving her mouth.
And the torch is very quickly going out. Gauze is not a great fire keeper.
The Don remembers that video. And he gets up slowly.
At this, like, I'm pretty sure the fire on the ground is still going.
Would the three of you have kept the fire going all night?
Probably,
so.
yeah.
Okay.
Because it would probably been a source of warmth. Oh shit. I don't have lighter fluid or anything.
This is when I take out my night vision goggles.
I feel like I have a keen sense of hearing, so I would like to see if I can like hear properly all the directions, so we can find a way there's an area there's no sound coming from, and head that direction.
We'll just survival.
That's smart.
Yeah, we'll go survival.
Fuck.
Uh-oh.
It's a 1.
That is
We
going
are
to require 3 stress.
I'm in danger.
As you are you are just you were woken up. There's fire above you. She's telling you to grab your gun. Every worst possible scenario is like running through your mind. You're trying to like joke your way out of it, but deep down you're like, fuck.
Maybe it's because I had a bad experience in the woods last time.
Maybe it's
And
Maybelline.
it strikes. It strikes like a I don't know, like a trauma experience from the past 3 years.
Gotta love
Fair.
trauma responses.
Yeah, that is totally fair.
All right, what's the Don doing?
Question for you.
Sure.
So I had 6 stress. Do we get rid of that ever, or like how would we? Because that I'm still pretty stressed out from yesterday, and I haven't rolled a 20 for sure because
And I'm way more
dice hate me.
stressed out now.
All right, so
If
stress is
that's
how
the
you
case.
track different or traumatic events mechanically. As your stress level increases, it makes it difficult. It makes it more difficult to perform. Facts. It triggers instances where you're forced to deal with your Every 4 points of stress triggers a conflict level up to 20 points. However, stress is not permanent. First and foremost, characters can reduce their own stress by finding ways to perform self-care or finding the right time to talk about with their fellow PCs. Likewise, another player can step in to provide a listening ear, advice, or good distraction. Whenever work is put in place to reduce the stress, the initiating character can reduce the stress of the benefiting character by their empathy score.
I was gonna say that like us talking about my wrestling career would have reduced my stress, but then I realized that Jack just said wrestling is fake, and that probably just increased my stress.
Stress is also reduced by 1 when rolling a critical success. So I would say that you guys have. So we've had what, the one night, and then your first break, and I would say probably before dinner. So I'm gonna say you guys had probably 3 instances to help reduce stress amongst one another. What is everybody's empathy scores?
I think I have a super high empathy.
Jack, yours is +3.
Yeah.
-2 on mine.
Doodles is -1.
Mine's -2.
All right. So Jack, it's up to you to help reduce stress. The other 2 are unfortunately incapable of assisting with that.
Okay.
So you have 3
Rude.
instances, but thankfully you have a +3 to your empathy. So more or less you have the ability to remove 9 stress in total between the 3 of you.
Okay.
But because you're the one that's helping them out, you get to dictate where that stress relief is. Pause, stepping that one back. It is Jack's decision how her points of stress reducing is allocated.
That's good. You did a good thing there.
Okay. Who has the most stress right now?
I'm at
I got
7.
6. Oh shit.
Jesus Christ.
All right. And I have 9, you said?
You have 9 points of empathy. I don't know what your stress is at.
Okay. No, I meant
Oh yeah, your
How many
empathy is
points I do?
+3.
Okay.
So with 3 breaks, I would say +9.
Okay, so I'm gonna take 2, and then Doodle, you can take 4, and Farles, you could take 3.
Sweet.
I don't remember where we
Just
left
showed
off,
us
to be completely honest
our-
with you.
Oh,
So there
face.
was ice surrounding us, and we had just all gotten up, and my torch was going out.
I thought Farles
you
had
gave
asked me
us
for something, and then
stress.
we did a bathroom
And
break. But
we were also totally safe, and we some big eagles grabbed us and brought us to safety.
incorrect.
No, we did the whole stress thing. I asked about stress reduction. And
Oh,
we did that, and
gotcha.
then we went on break.
So the Don actually hasn't gotten up yet. Okay, so that's where we're start. All right.
Yeah, the Don's slowly getting up with rifle in hand.
All right. So getting up with rifle in hand.
That zoom though.
Jack's got a torch that's about to go out. Rowdy, do you have a ranged weapon, or are you pure melee?
I think I have a handgun. I don't have a rifle.
Okay. So were you arming yourself?
No, because I'm shit with it.
Okay, fair enough.
It's there for dire circumstances and only close range.
All right. So as the three of you kind of come to your feet, the torch itself begins to go out. The two of you, can I get an alertness check, please?
Uh,
18.
I rolled a 4, so plus was it 3?
Rowdy, you have zero idea why the fuck you just got woken up in the middle of the night. The Don, as the light from the torch is fading, you see the faint glint of eyes or red eyes kind of circled throughout the forest around you. And as the three of you are standing there, the torch goes out with only the faint light of the fire illuminating.
Well, I'm confused as fuck, obviously, so I'm just kind of like standing there, like eyes looking at both of them, like, what the fuck's going on?
The Don senses danger.
Danger zone.
And I make a smirky comment back saying, you know, danger used to be what they called my dick.
The Don recalls that fact. Turns out the Don was just a huge fan.
All right, Jack, what you doing?
I'm going to squat down. And grab the closest, like, flammable object. And
Okay.
throw it on the fire, which most likely will be someone's nudie magazine.
Damn.
Rude.
So as you throw the magazine onto the fire, the pages begin to burn. But then these like weird, like liquid shaped sizes are stuck in the fire and just don't seem to melt. Weirdly enough.
Those pages were too rigid.
Yeah. You threw away a classic. It was the first edition.
But yeah, so the nudie mag is in the fire. Weird
it get
shapes
brighter?
are left.
Does it get brighter?
I mean, briefly, but the magazine being so old and gonna have such little
Crusty.
very crusty. It very quickly burns out.
All
So
right,
you'll have a bit of a pop of the fire as like the pages get engulfed. But
Mhm.
with it being such an old magazine, it does not withstand the fire very long.
Okay, so it's probably enough time for Jack to grab her handgun.
Okay.
am basically just ready up, I guess.
Button pushed.
All right. So you're just gonna stand there and wait for all of these creatures to make a move.
I think I'd probably have us like go back to back to back, like a
Bullet
triangle,
time.
Nice.
and kind of
Charlie's
just
Angels.
pretty much, just so we could kind of like, be prepared on all sides.
Okay.
And because as soon as that fire goes out, I bet they will move in.
All right. Do either of you want to try anything?
The Don thinks we should run.
Where though?
That's a good question. I don't know. Apples
And
don't
in the-
burn, right?
Yes, when forest fires take place, only the apples remain.
I don't think.
Do
they're
I get
going
to try hearing again? Since it failed the first time, is it possible to try that again? To determine what path
not
is
much
free?
time has passed, so not yet. You would need to
Okay.
come up with a different action to try to do here.
Okay. I have an idea to. I see maybe a bigger rock on the ground,
Okay.
and I choose to throw it in the direction in between one of in between two of the eyes that we're seeing. to
Well,
see if
technically
that'll
speaking,
create
you
a
have
s-
not seen any eyes yet. So you still
Okay.
have no idea why you were awoken.
Okay, fair. So I will take a rock and just throw it
Okay.
and rely on the other two to see if anything happens with that.
So go ahead and give me a. We'll just make that an unarmed combat. Athletics. Either or is okay.
Shit. It's a 3.
So as you go to pick up this rock, there's some weird, almost algae on it. So as you go to throw it, just the dew of the vegetation on the rock just makes it slip out of your. And it just smacks into a tree just like a foot in front of you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have 1 fuel. What does that mean? Would that be like a? Do I have like a little
gas tank.
canister of like petrol or something?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Who the
Well,
fuck says petrol?
I don't know. The Don. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna. I assume my backpack's pretty close to me. I'm gonna try to like slowly reach down, grab that can of petrol,
Okay.
and maybe like I don't know, splash a little in the fire, or maybe I'll try to like make a circle around the camp,
Okay.
like a little with like one open area, you know, like an escape route kind of thing.
All right. Give me a.
Why'd you put some on my torch?
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna put it on the torch. Retcon. That's a
So you're-
much better idea.
You would have to remake a torch because that one had already burnt out.
Mm.
So you would need to use another medical gauze.
I'll just use my shirt. Rip off part of my shirt, wrap it around, soak it in petrol.
Okay.
But, this takes like 2.5 seconds to do, probably.
I
Okay,
mean,
it'll take me for fucking ever.
if that's what you want to do, there's
That's what I
nothing
want to do.
technically happening at the moment. So give me a survival.
Oh, I'm gonna give you a survival. That's a 15.
So with a 15, you go to like grab your chest pocket and just rip off a little bit, but you just rip off a complete strip down. So you just have exposed nipple and the rest of the shirt. But yeah, you managed to wrap it around the torch, pour some petrol on top of it, and you light it, and you now have a petrol and t-shirt lit torch.
The Don is resourceful and also
I
half
pinch
nude.
his nipple. Just reach over. Nice.
How does the Don respond to his nipple being pinched?
This isn't the first time the Don has had his nipple pinched. Since the... I don't know.
Jack, I'm curious. You feel like you'd be okay with dying by at the hand of another survivor. How does Jack feel at this going on?
What?
Exposed nipple play.
It's
All while you're under the assumption that there's a bunch
We're all
of
about to
creatures
die.
getting ready to attack you.
I'm probably like in the back of my mind upset because they're not. It doesn't feel like they're being like serious. I've got a man talking in third person, another man assaulting another person. Like I just feel like if I wasn't here, they'd probably both be dead. So, I'm probably in the back of my mind very frustrated. And this is a big part of my conflict is just being around idiots. And it's not my cup of tea. Like I'm very like as soon as this day is over, I'm like and we get to the village, like I'm out. Like I'm out. Like this is gonna get me killed. Like if this right here, if I live from this situation, like yeah. we're
Okay.
done.
And you guys are just Charlie's Angels circling with this torch.
I think
I think I think the Don will start like walking towards slowly, like towards the circle. One, to illuminate what we're looking at, and two, to see if they like are afraid of the fire or something.
Okay. So as you begin to make your way through the woods, as you get closer to these faintly lit eyes, and Rowdy, with this torch and you kind of being up and a little more present now, you do now see them. But as you're beginning to walk, the eyes begin to almost like open a path, keeping away from the fire.
The Don thinks we should get out of here.
I agree because the torch you said wouldn't last long, so I agree that we just sprint behind the fire.
all right.
Grab all our shit.
Yeah.
I'm
So at
really
this
glad
point-
you said something because I was going to make you leave it all if you didn't.
At this point, like, she's gonna like keep her torch and keep her like, but she's putting her stuff on, and in her other, like, in her non-dominant hand, is gonna have her gun.
Hmm. Ooh.
Just ready to like. Oh, actually, switch that. She'll have the fire in her dominant or non-dominant hand and the gun in the other because we could know what happened if that would. And she's gonna make sure that everyone's ready to go. If it's gonna cause trouble to bring, leave it behind. We'll find something else later. Are you guys ready?
How many torches can I make with this like one unit of petrol? Like, we have like torches on standby to light near the end and like keep moving, or are we kind of like a one and done kind of, you know?
You rolled what, a 15?
Yeah.
I would say you probably wasted a bit, but you could make a couple torches if you needed to.
I think I wouldn't mind. I'm gonna say
I think I have a couple medical supplies, so maybe I offer another thing of gauze, and we use his fuel to light that.
Okay.
And then we have
I
like
wouldn't.
a backup
I wouldn't
one.
light it. I wouldn't light it yet. I would wait till this one's about to go out. Use it as a starter, and then use that next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That way-
I prep that other torch then, basically, and carry
Perfect.
that in my hand with my backpack on.
Okay.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the Don has ripped his shirt into like shreds and just looked around like, oh, all right.
Does the Don have any like characteristic like tattoos?
Ooh.
He's got a back tattoo that just says the Don.
Yeah, in
In
bubble
bubble
letters.
letters.
At the bottom of
catch-
each of the letters is like a string, like it's a balloon.
And he has like a pig like on his chest right here with wings that says, like, because that was his catchphrase, "When
Yeah.
pigs fly."
That's that's amazing.
So I think we should just each have a torch. Did we make 2 or did we make 3?
You
Or
make
I
3.
think we made 3.
Okay. So, all right. Should we roll athletics to run?
Yeah, the
Is
Don
that
runs.
what you're doing? All right.
The
Yeah.
Don's
Everybody
booking
needs
it.
to roll athletics.
All right.
Come on.
I have an 18.
Got,
Leave me behind. I got a 5.
I got a 15 plus 1, so 16.
All right. Who had the first torch?
Me.
All right. And you said you got an 18?
Yeah. No. 19. 'Cause I have
19?
2. So 17 plus 2, right?
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
you take the torch, you start running. Doodle, you said you had a 16,
Yep.
and you're right behind her, just running.
Mm.
The Don, on the other hand, attempts to keep up with you guys, and I think his age is kind of showing the best of him. It's a little dark trying to make your way through the woods, but as you're running, your foot catches on a branch or on a root as you just eat shit and slide across this forest ground. You take 2 stress,
Sweet.
and I
That hits
need
me
you
to the
two to
thingy.
give me an alertness, please.
Okay.
The Don is too old for this shit.
21.
Okay.
19.
Yeah, so the both of you are running and you hear fuck, and then you hear the colliding into the ground and skidding across vegetation as you guys are aware that the Don has tripped and is back probably
Just
about
eating
20
shit.
feet from you.
My percolator is broken.
I feel like because I'm like the bigger guy, I go and try to run to help pick him up.
Okay.
And when I run to him, I have the other torch in hand still, and I use that to his existing torch that hopefully has a little light to light mine to give me time to pick him up.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you make your way back to him and you help him up off the ground and you guys can continue on your way.
Okay.
Boom.
Sweet.
How far are you
Keep
guys
Don in
running?
the middle. I'm going to yell, keep Don in the middle. I feel like, what time is it about now?
There would have been third watch, so you're probably looking at like 3 or 4 a.m.
Okay. Did any of us like have a direction of where we were supposed to be going ultimately? Like,
I'm
think I
sure
was the one
originally
leading
you
us.
did. At the moment, probably not.
I have a compass.
you do?
I do. That's a compass and a percolator. The only things I put in my backpack.
Yeah.
Oh.
How is it in your backpack or is it in your pocket?
I imagine a compass would be like in my pocket, maybe attached by like a little like metal chain, you know, like the cool wallets used to be.
Okay, so I'd probably ask him like what
Did you say
direction
the
we were
cool
going.
wallets?
Yeah, you know how people used to put like a wallet attached by.
Oh, I remember it being a thing.
I don't know the
I never thought about, oh,
adjective
fuck, that's cool.
would have been attached to
I
it.
always thought that was super cool, and I always wanted one, and I never figured out where people buy those
You
or
wore
how they get
Jenko
them.
jeans,
Same
didn't
place you
you
bought Jinko jeans.
No, I only
I mean,
bought Levi's.
Doodle, did you wear Jenko jeans?
I did, but I never had those. My first thought when you said that was a pocket watch. I was like that kind of style.
That would have made a
But
lot more sense, but
I
Alas.
I think the pocket watches were dope as shit. Like that was one of my favorite style of watch. But
I'm okay
you
with
got
like a
Jenko
pocket watch,
jeans.
but I'm not okay with like the.
Yeah, pocket watches were dope. I thought he was talking about like chain wallets, and I was like,
Oh, I was
nobody
talking
ever.
about chain wallet. I was 100% talking about chain wallet. Pocket watch would be cool. That didn't cross my mind. Also, the Disney Channel original movie Brink is probably the Don's favorite movie. So any of that like overall aesthetic is what he's going for.
I like how you specified there the Disney Channel.
I mean, yeah,
Like,
it
you
never
could've
hit
just
theaters,
said the movie
unfortunately.
name, and you're like, no, it's Disney Channel original.
Oh, shit.
It's important.
That was a good movie.
So yeah, you guys are running. Don pulls out his compass, and you guys are running south by southwest. You guys were traveling east initially to go to this next village.
I will alert the group. I'll say, the Don thinks we should change direction. That way, whatever way is east. Wait, that way.
Weast.
Weast.
Have we seen any other eyes since we've left?
Nope.
Okay. So I think at this point, like, we can maybe like stop and breathe for a second and kind of collect our bearings and maybe start moving that way.
The Don
Yeah.
agrees.
Take some water out and hydrate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you guys gonna try to set up camp again, or just stopping,
I'd-
getting?
I think stop, taking a breather, and
Moving.
like not even unpacking at all. Like not
Okay.
even taking
Nah.
the packs off.
Sure.
I agree. Just a quick little catch your breath, drink water, and keep going.
All right.
The Don will never sleep again.
I
So
think
yeah,
if
Go
we
ahead.
stop, it's gonna be the end. I don't think stopping in the dark is probably, unless there's pure shelter, I don't think it's a wise idea.
I concur.
Because as long as we keep moving, even if something's tracking us, we'll hopefully get far enough out of it.
And I reference one of my old films. You know, this makes me think of the time I had the Woodland Fucks of '93.
I do
the
recall the
sequel
squirrel.
to My Father's.
Voted best multi-generational sequel. Wait, that means that's not what I meant it to mean at all.
Spank
first
Bank
time-
Award. Past, present,
Shared
and
the-
future.
His father
The
came out of
first time I
retirement for that one.
shared set.
The Don doesn't think he saw that one.
Oh, it's a classic. I think we can find a tape somewhere sometime.
That line's getting bleeped.
Oh no. Does that relieve
Jack-
my stress? just asking for a friend. We're all talking about it. I don't know.
It definitely took you back to a simpler time.
Oh man.
Oh.
I mean, you did say conversation sometimes
Yeah.
increases stress earlier, so
This episode is definitely getting an explicit tag.
simpler times back in the Gigolo days. Simple times.
So yeah, it's a dark wooded area. You guys took a drink, caught a breather, now you're heading back east.
Meaningful conversation.
meaningful
breather.
conversation.
Breather.
Yeah, you guys reduce stress, but I think Jack gained stress there.
Just like we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. These guys are dumb.
Oh shit.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's long gone.
At this point, Jack is just gonna like stand up, put the cap on her bottle, and just start walking. Like, she's not gonna give a fuck what anyone else is doing. This is so uneven. She's not gonna care what anyone else is doing. She's just gonna start walking.
Okay. Are you guys? Go ahead.
I would like to make it a point that in this world, Botter Bottle is the best brand of water. It's like the Nalgene of post-apocalyptic water bottle brands.
Done. Canon.
Perfect.
I guess we see Jack standing up and walking away, so you know.
After you hear her,
we get out.
big sigh.
It's a conflict, but we have proven reliable to her. At the
Question
same time.
about this conflict points. Would I be getting conflict points because I'm dealing with this shit?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so at this point, I have about 3 conflict points.
Oh no.
Oh, is that bad or good?
All right, this game is built around a small group of players dealing with conflicts during their journey. These conflicts are amplified in a world where survival is day to day. On the character sheet, you will find a box labeled for conflict with 3 lines. Not all 3 lines have to be filled out, but these should be ideas that are central to your character that don't exactly align with other PCs. For instance, both characters may have the same goal for trying to rescue a familiar NPC to them, but they may not agree with how that needs to be done. Perhaps they both agree. That's not important. Conflict has 5 levels that increase based on your stress. No, so conflict is going to be based off the red ticks in your stress marker.
Oh,
Okay.
I see.
Yep. So as those get filled, then you fill in those conflict points.
Okay.
But when we go backwards in stress, do we remove a conflict
Yes.
point or does
Yep.
it stay there? Okay.
All right. So as you guys are making your way into the woods, you don't see any other red eyes. But you do travel for several hours before you come across a relatively futuristic building. Just smack dab in the middle of the woods. There's large cylinders shooting up into the trees, large glass windows that disappear into the forest, and there's just a big round door in the front, beyond this clearing that you guys are now standing before.
Is there a way around it?
I mean,
without
yeah, you
going
could
through
just
the building.
walk past it. Yeah.
I suggest walking past it and not going in.
Does it look so compared to like the cities? It looks really out of sorts. There's like no.
It's out of sorts, but it's cleaned. It's well kept.
Okay.
It looks like it's powered.
Okay, so is there any like smokestacks or anything that would like kind of alert us that like something's going on in there? No.
The Don would like to investigate.
Okay.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah. So as you make your way towards that front door, you see that this round door is very, very. What's the term I'm looking for? It'd be well armored, I guess. And to the right there is a small electrical panel glowing blue.
I say this is some white people shit going into this building. I should have not gone in. So I'm very questioning of everything around me right now.
As you
inside
should
the building.
So there's windows, right?
Yeah.
Can I see into there?
It's
Okay,
dark.
then I'm gonna be.
Yep. Just with it being in the middle of the woods and not much light, there's no lights on inside. But from what you can kind of see with what little lighting you do have from your torches, the tunnels look almost like lab hallways.
Mm.
I'm gonna suggest again. Let's not go through here. Let's go around this building.
Is this panel like a doorbell, or is it more of like a code thing to get in?
Code panel.
Okay.
Does lockpicking count towards that?
You could try lock picking, or you could try technology.
I have a +2 to lockpicking.
Okay.
I only have one.
Get it.
So I wouldn't do it.
How do you plan on trying to tell me what your character is attempting to do here with this?
Pour water on it. That's all I have. That's
Okay.
literally all I have. And I rolled a 14 + 2, so it's a 16.
So with a 16, where's my little 16 size? Yeah. So as you pour water on it, you actually see residue on the numbers begin or kind of illuminate themselves a little bit as water begins to kind of short out the door. You see residue on 2, 4, 8, 9.
Mm.
Do we know how many numbers the pin is? Is it like apparent?
It's just a 4-digit pin.
Okay. 2, 4, 8, 9.
That's the Don's birthday.
Are there any signs or anything?
I lied. It's
anywhere?
3825 or 2358 that you see.
2, 3, 5, 8. That's just down the middle.
And then the top right.
Yeah, that's just like boom, 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 boom. That forms a L.
Upside down L.
Yeah.
Backwards 7. An R.
A leg.
I've never seen Farles think so hard. I think Britt's actually trying to math some shit out over there.
Yeah, I am. I'm not going to. My fear is that it's going to cause an alarm to go off and create more chaos, like attract more of the
But
infected.
you love chaos.
I do, but Jack doesn't.
I'm gonna suggest to the group again that we do not go into this building.
At this point, like, Jack's gonna step back and be like, I feel like this is more pain than it's worth. And she's gonna like step back and like hold her backpack and like just stare at it for a few more seconds and like debate in her head, like,
On the screen, you see 3 possibilities. Like 3 attempts.
I can't resist. The Don must push a button. And he's gonna try 3, 2, 5, 8.
3, 2, 5, 8.
The Don's whole life is a lie. And he's gonna walk away.
Britt's still mathing over here.
yeah,
I know.
I'm debating whether it's worth anything.
Do you guys want a
And-
hint?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
T9.
We're spelling out boobs?
With 4 letters, that's 5 letters.
Boob.
Uh,
God, I haven't had T9.
Okay, T9. Okay.
Think about it. When's the last time you guys used T9 texting?
It's okay. I found a decode.com that has like papyrus font. This looks like it hasn't changed in the last 40 years.
Sky will point out papyrus font everywhere because she hates it with a burning passion.
Belt.
No,
Or-
because that's what you tried. Did you try 3258 or 2358?
He tried 3258.
Okay. So the other one with belt, it would be 2358.
It's 3825. It's fuck. It's 3825. It's fuck.
Correct.
Could be duck. Or it could be eval.
All I had to do was get up like one of those things, and I was like, okay, what can I? Yeah, 3825. It's fuck.
Yep, you type in 3825 and you hear cylinders behind the door begin to move, and then the door lets out an ungodly loud hiss as steam begins to shoot out as the door slides open.
Are lights? There's no lights inside still.
Lights have not turned on.
I'm gonna pick a pebble up and throw it in.
Okay.
Like a
You
cube.
pick up the pebble and it bounces off the ground, echoing down the hallway.
Does it give us an indication of how long the hallway is? Like, does it go like boop 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 boop? Like,
Yeah, it echoes.
Okay. I'm gonna look at Rowdy. Because I know he was reluctant, so I'm gonna like look at him.
Is Rowdy gonna pass up good shelter?
Mm.
I mean, like when you put it that way. I guess, is my torch still lit?
I would say your torches are probably going out at this point.
Okay. I guess like I'm shit with my gun. I have ammo. And like the thought crosses my mind of stepping into the hallway and just shooting the gun straight down to create a flash to see if there's anything you can see. Because I can't use it very well.
I mean, if that's what you would like to do.
Yeah, I mean the group's kind of forcing me in that building, so I'm not even gonna converse it. I'm just gonna do it.
Go ahead and roll handgun, please.
The Don is shot in the leg.
11, so 12.
All right, so with a 12 partial success, so I'm actually going to say all 3 of you are going to take stress out of this because I don't think Rowdy would probably alert. I think he would just draw and fire blindly.
Yep.
So Rowdy, you are taking 1 stress here. Reminder, you fail forward, you get what you want, but with a complication. So as you discharge your weapon, a flash takes place at your muzzle, illuminating a bit of the hallway, but you see the bullet travel down the hallway for a couple seconds before striking a panel, as you see sparks fly as another set of doors slides open.
Boss.
With a faint blue glow now illuminating into the far end of this hallway.
Is there air conditioning?
Yeah, it's air conditioned.
But why is it fucking blue? That's not a normal light color. Like, I'm just saying.
The cold air is gonna entice Jack enough to go inside.
Because Jack is Jack Frost. All right. The moment you step inside,
Shit.
the lights illuminate.
Oh.
What do we see?
A hallway with doors.
Is it like sterile looking hallway?
Yes, it's a very sterile looking environment in itself. It's a hollow tube with glass all the way down. And then as you get further into this hallway, on each side, there are several sets of doors lining the hallway. And it kind of branches off to two different sides, kind of leaving the middle open for rooms. So you can either go to the left or to the right. But to the left is the one that Doodle just shot down, opening a door at the very far end.
No one came to the sound of someone shooting.
Nope. It'd be a really weird kink, but we don't kink shame here.
God damn it.
Do you know how much I'm
man,
gonna
that
have
was
to
not-
edit this episode?
Listen, Doodle started it.
I mean, that's just my character, though, you know. So
It's not me, it's my character.
Yeah, but if you didn't
Yeah.
finish, you wouldn't have had a good time.
that's what she said.
Jack's just gonna walk towards the open door. At this
Okay.
at this point, they've already bit off more than they can chew, and like I've said, she's probably gonna. She doesn't care if she dies to a survivor, but like, I feel like in here they're a little bit. She hopes that they're safer.
Okay.
They're smarter.
So
smarter
as you
people.
guys begin to make your way down the hallways, as you walk past the doors, they have signs next to them. You've got research lab, you've got sleeping quarters, you've got med bay, you got chow hall, and at the very end, you have incubation.
Oof.
The one he knocked open.
The one he knocked open.
Oh.
Great job.
I didn't want to go in the building in the first place. So- my character is still very high alert and questioning being in here. So I'm probably trailing behind.
I have my gun pulled at this point.
Oh yeah.
And I think I'm gonna stop in every room.
Collaborate and listen.
I'm gonna stop in every room.
As you stop at the doors, each one of them has a lock on them. Like it has another pin input.
Mm.
I'm going to try on the hallway with the food. 3663.
Mm.
I come up and just throw water on it because it worked the first time.
As you pour water on it, you see the remnants on 1569.
Here we go again. I should have kept that open.
2 hours later.
Fun fact, Doodle. Anytime you play a TTRPG, doors will always stop your players. If you're like, oh man, I don't know what to do for this session, just give them a door and just watch them struggle with it for hours.
Wait, one doesn't have a T9. Shit.
So what was the one function on T9?
I thought it was special characters.
There you go, Doodle.
Hmm.
Jesus. Bitch.
1569.
1569.
Yeah.
Is that what you're inputting?
Yeah. Damn it.
Hold on. I got this.
To let you guys know, if you get locked out, I will tell you the code, but we are completely locking out that room. You will not be able to go into it.
shoot. I'm trying.
If you guys would like a hint.
I'm saying this out loud. This isn't an answer, but 569 is joy. One, do an exclamation point or question mark. Joy.
I tried at joy. That's what I tried. Which is the 1569. And that
I
didn't
see what
work.
you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm down for that one, I guess.
We already tried it.
Oh, well, we tried it with the one
Yeah.
at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Five, 6, 9, 1.
It opens.
Nice.
Nice.
As the door slides open, it opens up to a very large cafeteria hall. Lined amongst the walls are dozens of different vending machines between lunches and snacks and beverages. And then on the far wall, there is a salad bar. And then on the far wall, there's the entrance into a kitchen and then an empty buffet.
So all of the buffets and stuff are empty?
The buffet
So-
stuff is empty, yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna check the kitchen. I'm gonna just go, case the joint, make sure there's nothing gonna surprise us like in all the zombie movies.
Yeah, as you make your way into the kitchen is a sterile, clean kitchen.
They're like Coke machines and stuff?
Mhm.
Okay, at the sign of a Diet Coke, like, Jack's gonna like run over, take her rifle off her back, and use the butt of the rifle to smash open the Diet Coke machine.
All right, go ahead and roll with melee weapon, please.
Okay. Nat 20, baby.
Nice.
Yeah, you slam the butt of the gun into the Coke machine, shattering the front glass, revealing a fully stocked beverage station.
She doesn't care if she cuts her arm open. She's gonna reach in.
Oh no, like it's shattered. Like
Oh.
there's no glass.
Oh, okay.
The glass is just
She's
now
gonna
at
reach
your
in.
feet.
She's gonna reach in and grab like a couple Cokes and put them in her backpack and like point at Rowdy and like, "You want one?"
And it's a perfectly
I'm,
42-degree Diet Coke.
I'm
she's
still
gonna
questioning.
crack it open and just
Open up and it hisses like it's perfectly carbonated.
and she like takes the first sip and you can see her body like shudder like like it's like the first thing of normalcy she's had in like 3 years.
Did the noise not attract anyone, or
Go ahead and roll alertness if you want to check.
I do want to
Yeah,
check.
for sure.
Fuck.
Oh, I can't. Yeah, I'm not alert.
7.
I got an 11.
It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a 7. You got 11. So I'm guessing we don't hear anything.
Nope.
No. I don't like the way you're saying that.
I think the Don. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm afraid to go into the room that you opened.
Yeah,
So I'm just kind of, I'm just kind of
yeah.
finding little pleasures along the way before I die.
Right. I think the Don is just gonna kind of back out into the hallway, look down at the blue light, and like kind of tiptoe over there to see what's going on in the incubator room.
Okay.
Would we have noticed?
I'm not trying to be sneaky for you guys at all. I guess
Okay.
I'll say maybe before I do that's a good point. I'll be like, the Don wants to check out the incubator room.
You don't know it's an incubator room.
The Don wants to check out the blue light at the end of the hallway.
Brother.
Are you like, I'm gonna look at Rowdy and be like, I hate that he talks in third person.
The Don doesn't care about your opinion.
I'll be a smartass and be like, I think it's kind of hot.
Rowdy's looking around. I could do some work in here.
I'm going to. Apparently, you cared about my opinion. What I said earlier about your wrestling.
The Don has a very fragile ego. He's gonna start walking to the end of the hall.
Why don't you talk? Why don't you talk to Rowdy?
Just a single tear fucking streaming down his face.
And I mumble to myself, well, I mean, maybe you could talk to Rowdy. I bet you he's good at stroking things.
Ooh. I give her a high
five. Jack's gonna be surprised at like a high five because she really hasn't touched other people in a while, and she's
flesh.
So she's gonna high five you and continue drinking her Coke.
All right, so is anybody following the Don as he makes his way towards the blue lighted room?
I probably finish drinking and follow him, but like far behind him. I want to give, because if he's gonna get eaten, I'm gonna give myself enough space to run away.
Give me a medicine check,
fair.
please.
Me?
Yep.
My whole thing is I just want to like, if we're gonna hang out here for a bit, I don't want to be surprised by something that's popping up. I want to check, make sure everything's cool before we, you know what I mean?
A 15 plus 4, that's a 19.
You feel the biggest burp begin to gurgle in your stomach. But you manage to control its output.
I wasn't expecting that.
I was expecting like something to come out of the shadows. I don't know.
I'm gonna be in between both of them. I'm gonna step into the hallway, but where I can see both of them still.
Okay.
So that's where I'm gonna see, just so I can have eyes and ears on both.
All right, so the Don, as you step towards the hallway, obviously, as you are getting towards the back, that blue light is illuminating more and more lights begin to flicker on as you're making your way down the hallway. And as you make it into the incubation room, the first thing you see is liquid on the floor and glass shattered. But as you begin to look around, on the left side of the room, you see in this blue liquid, black ink kind of floating around and moving. And then on the far side of the room, you see silhouetted figures, whether they be bipedal humanoid or four-legged creatures or flying creatures, all floating in this blue mix.
Knew we shouldn't have gone in this fucking building.
Is there like a console? Do I see like a control console or anything?
As you kind of turn into the room, in between it on that back wall, there's your cliche, typical, overly sized monitor, massive keyboard.
Okay. Do I see like? Is there any like big red button that's like exterminate or?
Nope. At this point, she would have, since she didn't hear anything from you, she would have followed like in and saw what you were doing, and like kind of gone up behind you, like not like menacingly, but like watching what you were
sweet
doing.
nothings in your ear. As you press a button to turn on the monitor,
I don't want to press it. Oh,
password protected.
Oh shit.
To the right, there are loose coffee grounds on the desk.
Loose coffee grounds?
I yelled down the hallway, don't fucking push anything.
To clarify, like shaved coffee grounds, not like beans.
Got it. So like,
are they leading somewhere?
No, it's just a little bit of a mess on the side of the.
Oh, okay.
You know, cough, cough, wink, wink, shove, shove. Like you want to like drizzle some on the keyboard to see if it gets stuck to anything.
Oh, this guy's got crusty fingers. First, before I do that, I assume when I go in here, I would have looked everywhere, right? I don't want anything jumping out at me. You know, everyone's seen the movie Alien. There's just
Yeah.
always like something hanging in the rafters or some crazy shit like that.
Or like
I'm gonna take
a scientist or something.
So what were you doing?
I want to check. I want to make sure. I want to just like investigate this room, make sure I'm not
All
missing
right,
anything.
so give me an investigation.
Oh hell
This
yeah!
is
It's the
really
best
weird.
investigation.
You would have
That's
felt
a nat
like
20.
Damn.
Plus,
Okay.
Plus 0.
So with that 20, before you even get to the computer, you begin to make your way like past these glass fixtures with all these things. And as you're walking down the line, you see trial 10, trial 9, trial 8, trial 7, trial 6, all the way down to trial 1. And then as you kind of circle back around to the other side, you see just all these placards that say raccoon, pigeon, bear, any creature you could possibly think of lining out the other wall. But the far one at the very end just says Specimen X.
Is there anything in there?
Specimen X is just a dark, ambiguous figure.
Oh.
But the one that was the shattered glass was
right.
on the left-hand side was Experiment 10.
Shit. The Don is uncomfortable.
And with a 20, I would say you do see ink trailing across the floor and then up a wall into some shadowy darkness.
Is it wet?
Yes. Very moist.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk back very briskly, and just report back and say, "Fuck this."
At this point, like she would I have sensed his uneasiness? Like,
Give me an empathy check. That arm motion is quite something with today's episode's antics.
it is a 17 because I have a +3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it'd be a 17.
Oh yeah, you are definitely picking up what he is putting down.
At this point, she would like, I don't want to, and she would start backing up and be like, we need to go. And we should have listened to Rowdy.
Rowdy's down. Told you, bitch.
What does judgment do? Does judgment help me at all in this situation?
So judgment is described as your character's ability to determine sensible outcomes. This ability is useful for discerning danger, weighing the odds of a scenario, and knowing when it's best to run.
Okay, can I do something with judgment to determine if we're in danger and if we need to fucking go?
Sure. Give me a judgment check. So D20 plus 3.
Fuck, it's a 10.
Nah, it's cool.
Okay.
You feel perfectly like this is probably the safest you felt in years.
Okay, I don't like the way you said that all now. It's a false sense of fucking security right there.
I feel like at this point, like Jack would be like backing up out of the room and like look like, Rowdy, we need to get out of here. We need to get out of here.
The computer. All right. Damn it.
Don's the only one in that room, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
Don is the only one in that room.
Can we yell
before he
down
leaves,
the
I'm gonna
hallway
sprinkle
to
the
where
coffee.
he can hear us?
I'm gonna sprinkle the coffee grounds on the keyboard. I gotta do it. It's
It
gotta
marks out 1240YOL.
God damn, it's a long one.
What the fuck?
1240YL.
YOL.
YOL.
What is 0?
Punctuation?
There's a space, maybe?
To clarify, this is a keyboard.
Oh, so it's not like a T9 situation.
No, not a T9. There's an actual keyboard.
420.
There's no way that the YOL and the 0 spell YOLO, right? Because that would be the most
That's what I did.
ridiculous thing.
Seriously, like 420 YOLO, but like there's no other O, so
All right. I'm just gonna think for a second, and in game time, this is taking like a nanosecond. I'm so smart and amazing and good at this, so like nothing crazy can sneak up on me while I'm doing it.
at this point I would have been like trying to get out the front door. Like I would've
so
left.
as you're making your way to the front door,
Shit.
You see drips along the wall, and the door is shut.
I'm still in the middle of the hallway, by the way. Eyes on both of them. I literally haven't moved because you said my
1240.
judgment was okay, so I got no reason to move yet. So I'm just kind of going like
1240.
this back and forth.
Do I have to put the code in again to leave?
From this side, with the black ink on it, from what you can tell, it is destroyed.
No. Is there a manual pull?
Man, we fucked up.
Roll. Oh, go for alertness.
1240
9.
YOL.
9.
Nope. Take stress.
Disgusting!
Can I check my alertness?
For just in the hallway.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm not trying to get stuck up on. Fuck. It's a 9.
It's cool.
God damn it.
Realizing that the front door is not going to open, Jack is just gonna walk back to the dining hall and sit at a table and crack open another Diet Coke. And just sit with her thoughts, because she's like, okay, we fucked up. This is it. This is it.
You tried any passwords yet there, Farles?
No. Yeah, I'll try 1240 YOL. Son of a bitch.
Doodle, what's Rowdy doing? Is he just chilling in the hallway still?
I'm still in the hallway because I want to have eyes on both of them.
Okay.
Can I re-roll now for judgment?
For judgment, I mean, not much time has passed, so you have no reason to feel uneasy about anything.
Yeah, okay.
If you wanted to make like different checks, you would have to go venture elsewhere to put yourself in a reason to kind of have to put yourself in that mind state again.
I should have used my persuasion to keep us from coming in here.
Hey, I know the answer.
Yeah, what is it?
It's 420 YOLO !
It sure is.
Yeah.
Nice.
I did it. I solved the mystery.
All right. So you type 420YOLO exclamation point into the computer. It says welcome. And then as you look upon the desktop,
Password number 2, please.
Input finger passcode. It's just a desktop riddled with folders.
Do any of them jump out, or are they named stupid shit too? Like,
nope,
like
they are
Blaze It
named
and-
directly experiment 1 through 10, and then all of the animals, and then obviously species X or whatever I said previously.
I'm gonna open experiment 10.
Okay. So as it pops up, it kind of does that cliche like endless scrolling type thing. But go ahead and give me an intellect
Oh God. Wait, where is that?
or
that's just
technology,
okay.
technically, but
That is a 15.
with
we're
a
doing technology.
15, you kind of skim through because a lot of it's like a lot of scientific terms, so you don't really know a lot of what's going on. But from the lines that you do pick up as kind of everything is scrolling past you, is like exceeding expectations, operating ahead of schedule, mind of its own,
Right.
fearful, shouldn't have done this. This was a mistake. Scientist replaced.
Great.
You know,
Alright,
things
then
of
I'm
that
gonna-
nature.
Then I'll do the X, the whatever, the one, the glowing bob, the little blob. I want to
Yep.
figure that shit out.
And so that one is you just see a Maj Paz of the different types of species that have been crossed with, and then obviously mixed with fragments of Experiment 10, making this hybrid creature, enhancing, taking all of the best traits out of all of these creatures and humans and putting them into one controlled species.
Great. All right, is there like a destroy everything button? Have we found that
you
button?
can look for one.
Oh man. Yeah, I'll take a quick look and then I'm gonna run right back to everyone and be like, "Hey, we're all gonna die."
Yeah, give me another technology check to see if you can find, like, search like some key codes to see if you can pop up like abort or destroy all.
That's an 18.
So with an 18, you do find a few password protected entries, but you would have to figure out the passcodes to be able to get in to get the information.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm gonna just go back. I'm gonna walk out casually, calmly, collected, and walk back to everyone and say, "The Don would like to go now."
Everybody give me an alertness, please.
Oops, I just dropped that the wrong way. Uh-oh. I got a 6.
17.
A 10.
Rowdy, your sense of calm is gone. As you were standing there looking at Don as he comes into the room, kind of downloading everybody, and Jack is just on another planet. Just, hey, it is what it is. But Rowdy, you are seeing black droplets falling onto the Don's exposed shoulders because he has no shirt on.
The look on your face.
Oh shit. I feel the urge to yell and hope and pray that I can shoot my gun at the ceiling and hit something.
So you want to just shoot above the Don and hope you hit something?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and roll handgun for me, please.
Oh god.
I got the little symbol. So is that
Nat 20? Okay, yeah.
Hey.
Plus 20 plus 1,
Nice.
so 21.
So you just stand there, just desk pops, just firing straight up as you hear that blood curdling screech you all have gotten so used to begin to bounce off the walls to such degree that you have to cover your ears. It's so loud. As this creature now shoots down from the ceiling. Don, give me a survival check, please.
Oh God.
Oh God. That's a 19.
So with a 19, you take the desk pop, you hear the scream, and you just dive under a table as this black ink liquid shoots onto the ground and lets out a bunch of different branches as it screams in pain as it jumps over you, Rowdy, and then begins bouncing off the walls and ceiling going towards that back room that you shot open.
Oh shit.
Would I'm guessing at this point Jack would have heard everything, right?
Oh yeah, this is all happening in that cafeteria space.
Oh. Okay.
But yeah, with that 10, that's that exact reaction that Jack would be having with all of this just like happening around them, unaware.
Okay. I think like now that it's becoming like more of a thing, I would probably get up and jump on top of the table and grab my handgun.
Okay.
Where is it in relation to me?
It left the cafeteria and it made from Rowdy's perspective, it made it back down the hallway towards that room.
Good thing
But so you would not be aware of that. Jack, you would be on the table. You would have seen it kind of like shoot out of the room, but you wouldn't know where it is from now.
Okay. So just kind of on that defense. Okay.
The Don, you dove under a table. What you doing?
The Don is staying under this table now. I'm gonna take my rifle out and just like stay basically crouched like under table height, but just like crab walk like in video games with everyone towards the room.
Rowdy, do you tell them the direction it went?
Yes. I tell them it just went into that room that Dawn was in with the blue light. I then ask Jack if we can escape through the front because she walked towards the front earlier. But obviously I wouldn't know because she didn't come back and say anything.
She kind of has given up hope at this point. No! And she runs into the kitchen and she's going to look for any type of fuel or any type of like cloth in the kitchen.
Give me an investigation.
Okay.
Oh man.
15 plus -1, so 14.
So with a 14, that is a partial success. So you will take a stress. As you kind of look around, you see off in the corner, there's just like a bag of just like white rags. And then as for fuel, you would just know that like the appliances are gas fed. So all of the gas would just be in the lines itself.
Okay. Is there a fryer?
Yeah.
Does it have oil in it?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to take like a bunch of rags and like take like a bowl that I find maybe and like put the rags in there and take some oil and fill it up and run into the hallway.
Okay.
I have matches.
Sure.
So I'm going to hand Rowdy a few and basically make sure that he just gets the hint, like, fire's our only ally in this part.
Doodle, as a person, on a scale of 1 to 10, how terrified are you right now?
I feel like he's like in between calm and feared because he's a little bit confident because he actually hit it and he sucks with guns. So that gave a little confidence, but then just seeing it fucking bounce everywhere and just jet down the hallway kind of gave him fear. So I'm like, I'm in that feeling of uncertainty right now.
Fair.
So I take the matches and I get the fire thing. My brain is like trying to figure out where we have to go because I would prefer not to go down the hallway. But I remember there was other doors around us that were password protected. So maybe the one that's directly across from the cafeteria, I try to open.
Which would be the sleeping quarters.
Okay. Fuck it, yeah. There might be some in there.
You're gonna try to enter the password?
Yeah. So I keep what works. And actually, you know what? I already fired the gun once. I want to shoot at the keypad to see if it opens it.
Okay, go ahead and roll a
Love that.
handgun.
I mean, it worked before on the other room.
That's true. That is a very good point.
11.
11 is a partial success. Yeah, you shoot open the door. You do take one stress. And as the door slides open, you see a group of people getting dressed, now staring directly at you.
Where the fuck y'all been? Like,
guess we
Doodle,
were
go
there in
ahead
the
and give
morning.
me an alertness, please.
Oh God. Oh, come on. Fuck. 8.
Yeah, you don't see anything wrong with this. It's fine. Take 2 stress, please.
Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no.
I guess I stand there at the doorway and say, "Hey, there's one of those fucking things on the
so fucking
Y'all
calm.
should probably be aware." Yeah. And I
I'm
guess
going
I
to
call
yell at-
back to the group and tell them there's people here. Because they're not next to me, right? So
I think Jack technically would be.
Mhm.
Would
Okay.
you be looking into the room that he shot open?
Yeah, with like
Roll alert, please.
okay.
God, I'm about to die.
I'd be like between them and like the door at the end of the hall.
17 plus 1, so an 18.
With an 18, you see they have glowing red eyes.
Fuck.
But they're getting dressed.
But they're getting dressed.
I probably would have just shit like myself. Like,
Go ahead and roll medicine for me to see if you can hold it.
Oh no. You're right. We shouldn't have come in here.
Plus 15.
With a 15, a turd falls out. Not much, but something falls out.
There's a little
Oh,
rosebud in there.
I fucking told you this is some white people shit.
Weirdly enough, they're all white.
Exactly. So
Oh my god.
I'm just gonna.
What's
Can
the
I
Don
just yell at
doing
them to
now?
open the door and
I
point
mean,
at the
yeah,
front door?
sure.
Open the door. Open the door. Open the door. Open the door.
Go ahead and roll psychology for me.
A 14.
With a 14, go ahead and take 1 stress as you feel a mental anguish almost squeeze as your brain as you hear inside your own thoughts. New host.
I'm gonna throw the
No.
extra can of Diet Coke at them. I'm going to shake it and
Just shaking it up.
I will shake it and throw it at them like at the back of the wall so it explodes.
Give me an unarmed combat, please.
Oh, it's a +3. 17 plus 3 is a 20, baby.
So double the total damage of your attack. As you go to just like chuck this full can of Coke, one of them that's like trying to like pull up his pants just takes the Coke can to the temple as this can explodes, Diet Coke, and as he just slumps to the ground.
Are they distracted?
A few of them are, yes, but all of them no.
Okay, can I shut the door?
No, it was shot open.
Shit.
They're sliding doors, sorry.
All
The
right.
consequences of my own actions.
I'm going to grab Rowdy, like grab his arm, and
All right, to clarify,
run...
you had a bowl of oil you just threw a Coke can.
Yeah. So I have like a bowl. I'm gonna drop the bowl in oil in front of the door.
Okay.
Ooh.
Like drop it for it to explode outwards, or like dump it.
Like, so it's like in front of where they are.
Okay.
And I'm gonna light it on fire.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a survival to see if the match strikes.
18
Oh,
plus
boy.
1
Yeah.
or -1, so 17. Yeah, so I set it on fire and I grab Rowdy's hand and we run it. I'm gonna like, let's get into the kitchen to barricade ourselves because
Yep. So as that oil is thrown onto the ground, it kind of splashes outward. You manage to strike a match on that first try, and as you throw it, that oil ignites, and every one of them begins to screech that
I am so scared.
blood-curdling scream. Everybody go ahead and give me an alertness real quick, please.
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
19.
Ah.
I'm rolling really great today until it matters.
12.
I got
Fuck.
this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and take 3 stress, please. Jack, you hear a lot of glass shatter at the end of the hallway. You don't know what it
I'm at the
means, but you
second-
hear glass shatter.
I can only
Oh, no.
assume I know what it means.
I'm at the second conflict point, by the way.
Okay, so that means you are at overcompensate. Roll to complete a single action. Whatever the degree of success you roll is, reduced to the next lowest. Success becomes a partial success. In a narrative situation, it can be as simple as telling too much truth or too much lie. So basically, whatever you roll, we step it down.
All right. Cool. Cool.
Cool.
That's not cool.
All right, so you guys
So-
run into the cafeteria.
I mean, I grab Rowdy. I don't know if he's gonna follow.
Do you follow Rowdy? Now before you is a room engulfed in flames with red-eyed creatures screeching. At the end of the hallway, a bunch of glass just got shattered. And to your knowledge, you can't get out the front door.
Man. What am I doing?
I don't
feel
know
like
what I'm doing.
Well, like running back into the cafeteria, like we're just locking ourselves in there.
Did
How
the
many
cafeteria
other
have
doors
windows?
are there?
The cafeteria does not have windows.
Ah.
What? Where has windows?
How many other doors?
The
Yeah,
hallways
what other
have the
doors are-
windows.
Oh, then
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot. Then I'm not gonna go in the cafeteria. I'm gonna shoot through one of the windows.
All right. You shooting your rifle or your handgun?
Handgun.
All right. Go ahead and roll handgun.
Uh-oh.
I don't want to. I don't want to see anything. I don't want to tell you.
1.
No, it's a 2. So thankfully it's a 5, but that's still not good.
All right. So you take 2 points of stress.
All right, I'm at the first modifier.
All right. And I also need you to roll a d12
Goodness.
or 2d6 again.
Could have been safe not going into this fucking building.
4.
You 4 bullets are wasted for you. The bullet shoots into the window, and you see just a barely cracked from the outside of where the bullet is now lodged into the window.
What doors are left? Do we know what rooms haven't been open?
I think I said what research lab. I don't remember what I said, to be honest.
Is there an armory door?
No, there was not an armory.
Okay.
From what
So
you
there's
can tell, this is
research.
like a research lab.
Okay. You said one of the rooms was research?
Yeah, there's research lab, probably like your showers and all that mumbo jumbo.
Okay, I'm looking for that research door instead of going into the cafeteria, and I'm gonna shoot the fucking keypad.
You are gonna have to get through the fire because it was put into that doorway, so you're gonna have to get past the fire to get to that door. Okay.
Instead, what I want to do is grab one of the rags that Britt found
Sure.
and grab 2, one for me and one for Don, and ask for his help punching the glass that she shot
Okay.
to see if we can break it.
Sure. Go ahead and roll an unarmed combat if that's what you'd like to try.
21.
Yeah, with a 21, you punch that bitch with all your might, and your hand just bounces right off of it.
Shit. Well, what about my 8?
With that 8, you're gonna go ahead and take.
Oh wait, I guess that's my action after the, so it's worse than that. So it's my conflict, right? I'll overcompensate.
Oh yeah, so that would go down to critical failure.
Fuck.
Great. Only you just there's a whole window and you just miss somehow, but you take 3 stress and you're now in a compromised position.
And I'm at the next conflict point. Son of a bitch. This game's just like, hey, did you fail at something? Well, here, guess what? Your whole life's falling to shit.
All right. Conflict 3 is push. Your anxiety builds and you have trouble getting a reprieve. What goes through your mind as you try to recuperate? Against your better judgment, you attempt to push through or out of this situation, leaving yourself exposed. The GM gets an immediate minor threat move against you in a combat. In a narrative position, how do you push yourself out of the events you're dealing with?
I think seeing that the glass is like apparently made of tungsten.
Bulletproof.
Oh yeah, bulletproof. That's the word. I think what I'm probably would do is just take out my rifle and just start rapid firing at it as much as possible while screaming in my Don voice.
All right.
Or maybe just like, yeah, I think that's what I'd do.
Roll long rifle for me.
Yeah, this is gonna go terribly. That's a 9.
So that's another. Oh god. Oh god. So that still kicks down because they do stack. So you take 3 more stress because that 9 is technically a critical failure.
Oh, that keeps going?
Yes.
Oh my god, guys, I'm erupting before your very eyes. Okay, cool. Well, so what happened
now
to the glass?
you are at overreact. On edge, you become single-minded. In combat, spend your turn attacking 3 times against a single enemy, even if you hit 0 HP, or even if they hit 0 HP before the turn ends. In narrative conflict, how does this further answer your level 4 question of on the precipice of being overwhelmed? How do you lash out at those around you?
Oh no, I'm 1 away from overreact.
No, correct.
Oh.
No, with that 3, that puts you at conflict level 4 condition overreact is what you're on now. So how do you react or how do you overreact against Doodle because he is the closest person to you?
Oh boy, sorry, Doodle. I think I'm just gonna grab his shoulders and say,
"The Don is going to die. We're all going to die."
and then scream like very monotone at him, just like.
And while that is taking place, you feel a claw against your back as you take 3 damage.
Oh, well, that's rude.
And Doodle, what Rowdy is seeing as you're like getting shaken aggressively here, you see that what should be a bear, but looks fucking disgusting, has come around the corner and just used his massive claw to gash at
How unlikely this is going.
I grab the Don and try to pull him into the cafeteria, and I try to shoot at the same time, just like a blind shot at the bear to just give me time to pull
So
him
we're
in.
gonna make this like an overall survival check, because you're attempting to just kind of give yourself cover and pull them out of a way. So you're not gonna be able to do damage because you're basically just gonna be like pop shotting here. But give me a survival to see how well this sequence of events takes place for you.
Oh my god, bro. It's a 4.
Jesus.
Oh no.
All right.
Yeah, it's a 4.
I need you to take 2 stress, please.
I'm at my second conflict point.
All right. So now for you, you are currently at overcompensate. Roll to complete a single action. When the degree of success you roll, you reduce to the next lowest. So as you try to like pull away from the Don, because he is kind of overreacting now, he kind of yanks away from you and turns and just squares up with this bear.
Rowdy, why'd you tell us to come into this building?
Is there any chance I can use persuasion to get him to
We'll
listen?
see what Jack does first.
Okay.
All right.
Fun fact, I don't know how you guys get out of this.
I'm gonna take my flare gun because I have a flare gun. That was one of my miscellaneous items,
Correct.
and I'm gonna shoot it down at the end of the hallway.
All right. Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll a handgun.
Okay. A nat 20 and
Hey.
plus 3, so 23.
All right. So go ahead and reduce stress by 1.
Okay.
Must be nice.
As you kind of step out, you shoot the flare through the fire that's already before you, which kind of just like makes the flare expand out wider. And as it makes it into this back room, the back room immediately explodes. As soon as it touches this liquid, it just causes a chain reaction, lighting everything on fire and causing a massive explosion, shooting flames down both sets of hallways.
I'm gonna hit the floor.
Does everybody hit the floor?
I don't know. Do I?
Go ahead and give me a psychology.
Oh, great. That's a -2 on that.
I'm sorry,
That is
what? Oh.
No, I mean, that's just like in general.
Yeah,
That's a 7.
All right, so the 7 goes down to critical failure.
Oh, no.
Take
It
3
was a
stress.
9. Now it's a 7.
Right, but you have to take it to
Oh.
the next lowest.
Oh, son of a. Okay.
So go ahead and take 3 stress, and you are in a compromised position.
All right. Well, I'm 1 stress point away from whatever the last stress conflict is. So yeah, I think the compromised situation is that I just stand there and
Yeah.
take it.
And
Cool.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna have you take probably. Where's a D6? Fuck, take 5 points of damage as this fire barrels down the hallway and just hits you barrel chested.
I can't like use mine to try to prevent that. To save me and him.
Do you want to like kind of like grab his legs and like yank him to the ground? Sure.
Yeah.
Give me a brawn.
Ooh.
What's my brawn?
1.
1. Fuck.
5. It's a 6.
Oh no.
You're laying on the ground and you grab his ankles to try to pull him away, and the Don is just in this fight or flight. The only thing he can focus on right now is this bear right in front of him. He kind of kicks your feet off as this plume of fire just collides into him as you look up and just see this silhouetted figure just punching a bear in the face.
The Don's chest hair is his favorite feature. And now, there's nothing left.
The Don, you are fighting what you believe to be a bear. What are you doing here? Everybody go ahead and give me an alertness here real quick.
Oh God, I cannot. This dice is gone. This dice is being thrown out.
A 1.
That's a ooh.
18.
I got a
All
10.
right, Jack, you take 3 stress. You are now in a compromised position. 18. You are aware, Rowdy, that you see the glass walls themselves are beginning to crack.
Oh.
Okay. Shit. Everyone's like so crazy right now.
But yeah, so the Don, what are you doing? You are mano-y-mano with a grotesque looking, what you assume to be ink-fueled bear.
Do I? What's my? So when I rolled that alertness, I rolled a low, like a 7 or some shit. Do I have?
So you are
am I
in
now
fight or
on-
flight mode. You are
Son
now
of a bean.
overwhelmed. When you become overwhelmed, you follow the prompts of Conflict 5.
Great.
Until you have time to resolve the conflict and condition, you take a -3 on all rolls. Once resolved, choose a survivor's boon.
Let's see. So I'm at fight or flight, right? So I'm just gonna.
You are at fight or flight.
I think that the Don, being the badass that he is gonna choose flight, and I'm just gonna dive right at the glass.
All right. Give me a brawn.
I'll give you a +5 brawn.
+2 because you have -3 on all rolls.
I rolled a 2, so that's a 4.
Always goes that. Oh my god, buddy. Take more stress. I don't think you can take more stress.
No, I'm all stressed out. Guys, I'm not rolling.
I'm gonna be honest.
anything
The Don turns and runs at this wall and just.
Oh god.
You
Like the
guys
scene
hear
from The
just
Mummy
the
with the guy.
echoing of skull bouncing off glass as he face plants directly into and just falls backwards onto his back. You can't not take damage for just full force fight or flight.
Yeah.
That's 6 points since you ate that shit with your face.
The Don made a mistake. Ow.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Rowdy, you're still in the area.
I was on the floor.
You haven't made it to the cafeteria yet, right?
Correct.
All right. The bear goes from looking at the Don to now looking at you.
Can I roll for judgment?
Yeah, if you want to.
You said I noticed the glass and everything.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
So I want to determine what path is successful.
Okay,
just
I
going
see-
for the
okay,
glass or
yeah.
fighting the bear.
Hit me with it. Go ahead and get that that judgment +3. Oh, hold on. You are overcompensated. So it will be reduced down to the next tier depending on what you roll here.
Oh fuck.
Britt is so stressed right now.
It was a 9 plus the 3 is 12, and then whatever.
All right, so 12 puts you at partial success, but that does put you to failure. So you will take 2 stress, and your immediate thought is, "Fuck this bear, let's kill him."
Hmm.
All right.
Well.
I guess I. Fuck.
Do I have access to anything fire related?
I mean, there's fire technically all around you at this moment. So basically, this entire research lab is on fire.
Okay, I still have the rag wrapped around my hand from punching
Yeah.
the glass. Can I fucking like
Light it on
put
fire
my-
and punch the bear.
put my hand in the fire?
Fuck, absolutely
and
you
punch the
can.
bear? Like,
I will say every turn you're going to take a point of damage because your hand is on fire. But I will give you like a +1 to damage to any damage you do to creatures you are fighting with a flaming fist.
fuck it, I'm gonna do it.
All right, so go ahead and take that 1 point of damage when you do that, and then go ahead and give me an unarmed combat against this bear.
Okay, I rolled a 14 plus 4, 18.
Okay, which will end up still dropping it down to partial success. So
Okay.
you'll take another point of stress. But you
Fuck, I'm
managed
at
to
my
get the
other
hit.
conflict.
As you punch this fucker in the face, you see the fire collide with his face, making a spark, and then the fire just kind of consumes across this bear. As now you are fighting an inflamed bear.
It didn't do shit.
Oh no, he took damage, but he is now on fire as well. All right, but you said that pushed you to push.
The third conflict, yeah.
Yep. All right. So your anxiety builds and you're having trouble getting reprieve. What goes through your mind as you try to recuperate? Against your better judgment, you attempt to push through or out of the situation, leaving yourself exposed. I get a minor threat, so this bear is going to now claw at you, and you are going to take 3 points of damage as this flaming claw bashes you in the chest. Jack, what are you doing?
I'm going to shoot the bear in the mouth with the flare gun.
Dumb question. Do flare guns have multiple flares? Okay, sure.
Yeah, I think they have 3.
Okay. I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because aren't they almost like revolver? Like, aren't they like shelled?
Yeah, they're gonna give you more than one
Yeah.
shot off, I believe.
Yeah,
Okay, so
then
I'm gonna
yeah.
shoot it in the mouth.
Go
with the
ahead and
flare
give me a
gun.
handgun.
Save us, Brit.
19 plus 3?
Yeah, so 22. You are going to do double damage because you exceeded the crit. So double the total amount of damage on your attacks, reduce stress. And now the bear is now compromised. So you fire off this flare and it just goes straight through his mouth into his throat. And as the flare ignites in the stomach, you almost see like the inside like turn like a glowing red in between like the ink and the burnt tuft hair, as this bear is not looking great. As another explosion takes place in the lab, causing even more cracks to spread across these window panes. The Don, you are, how much health you got?
4
Out of
18.
All right. You are laying on the ground. There is now a flaming bear kind of behind you, standing ahead of, like, directly looking up. You see Rowdy with a flaming fist. You see Glass very close to a shattered point. What do you do?
First, I look up at Rowdy, just with awe in my eyes, and say, "Flaming pork chop, nice." And then, oh god, I don't know. I will try to get up. And is the bear still alive? Bear's still hanging in
The
there?
bear is still alive. He is engulfed in flames.
Oh man, I'm gonna look at that bear and be like, "Holy shit!" And then I'm gonna turn to the cracked windows and I'm just gonna yell, "Pork chop!" and punch it as hard as I can.
Go ahead and roll unarmed. Again with -3.
Yes, I know, with -3. Thank you very much. Well, all right, new dice time. I'll see you guys later. I rolled a natural 1.
But
why are my dice so bad?
I don't think the
Alright,
game
just
expects you to like exceed.
I'm just gonna go pack it up over here. Maybe I'll try this guy again later on.
You take more stress.
He's dead.
I think I
Got to
die.
be dead. Like,
I punch the glass and my fist explodes.
he is one with the fire now.
Are you reading up what happens when I die?
I'm trying to see what happens when you exceed level 5 of conditions.
Oh my god.
Oh goodness.
Anytime a character suffers a large blow, have them roll a d20 for luck.
What are you reading now? Because I feel like this is the perfect time for that.
Yeah, so it's on the damage page of page 12. Let's see. When a character reaches 7 HP, which I have, they suffer grievous injuries. Grievous injuries, that's how the word goes. Begin to take a -1 to all of their ability modifiers. Okay, cool. Is a -10.
So,
That penalty increases by 1 with each reduction of HP until a player gets to 3 HP.
so
if
you
I have
now
3
have
HP left-
-5 penalty to all abilities.
Yeah. If
They
the
are
player only
unconscious. Yeah, once you hit 2 HP, you are unconscious and compromised. Can't gain consciousness until you receive medical attention. If a player takes the additional damage at 0 p, they are deceased and their story comes to an end. Anytime a character suffers a large blow, have the player roll for luck using D20 on a 1 to 10. The luck fail rolls, and the player takes 8 points of damage. On 11 to 20, the luck roll succeeds, and the player only takes 4 points of damage. Make sure to provide narrative detail explaining the roll on success. Yeah, you punch this glass wall because again, you're just in fight or flight, and in your head, I think at this point that Don believes he is causing all of these cracks. But in actuality, you're not doing a fucking thing. Rowdy, what you doing, bud?
Bear's still in front of me, right? It's
Bear's
like
still
right
in
there.
front of you, engulfed in flames. The Don is behind you, just bare knuckle boxing this wall.
This is how I imagine
My
my
hand's
experience
still on
after the apocalypse would
fire.
be.
Your hand is
Fire
still on fire,
seems-
so you do need to take another tick of damage, please.
Shit. And then the fire is breaking the glass slowly, though, right?
Slowly,
So-
yes. I will say it is very
can I
close to
punch it?
being shattered.
Can I punch it with my flame hand?
Yep, go ahead and give me an unarmed combat.
Come on, flame hand.
12 plus 4, 16, but then with my minus.
Drops you down, so you take another point of stress. But as you punch that wall, can anybody tell me what happens when a bunch of air hits fire?
It goes out. And we all
No.
live happily ever after. Helicopter
It
comes and takes us away.
Explodes. It makes a bigger fire.
It does make a bigger fire. So Doodle, as Rowdy punches that wall, the Don in that moment is like, "This is it. This is it." You both punch the wall at the same time as the wall or the glass on this wall shatters as a gush of air flows into this. Fire rampantly spreads, and I need you all to give me a survival check, please.
Oh god, I got like what, -12 on this?
-5, and then -3 because of fight or flight, so I think -8.
15 plus 3, 18, then my penalty.
Yep, so another point of stress. And you are going to take 3 points of damage. Britt, you managed to hit the ground just fine. The Don with your -8.
I have 1 conflict though.
You have 1 conflict.
Yeah.
Your 1 conflict, I believe, just only limits the amount of actions you can take. So you falter or hesitate, so you don't have any penalty at the moment.
Okay.
How much health do I have? How do I know that?
Have you? So to my knowledge, you have taken 3 points. Oh, you never added your HP. All right, let's calculate that here real quick. Vitality is based on, I want to say it's 10 plus. Let me find that here real quick. Where's character creation? Health points. Vitality modifier times 2 plus 10. So vitality is 4. Yep, so 14. So you took 3 from the bear strike, put you at 11, and then 2 ticks of fire damage from your fist, put you at 9. And then you are going to take another 2 points of damage from that explosion of fire, so another -2, so you're at 7. Now the prolonged question, the Don. What did you roll on that survival?
So, I have a +4 to survival.
Okay.
And I rolled an 11. So I have -4 of an 11 is a 7. So I rolled a 7. And then we have to take that down a notch too, because I'm screaming into the wind or whatever.
So you know that anime where usually there's like a fire attack and they're like, "Ah!" Hey, what's the Don's like greatest memory?
Cooking the perfect pork chop on the campfire as the world went to shit without him having any idea, and he was just out in the wilderness finding himself on the side of a mountain, just sizzling it right on top of the fire with like a cast iron skillet. Just, what do you call it when you're scooping the butter on top of it and all that?
Basting.
Yeah, just basting it. Put a little rosemary in there, smelling it, and the world's finally complete and happy.
And that is going to be your blissful final memory as the flames engulf you as your body collapses to the ground.
My fucking Dawn.
The other 2 of you see as the fire erupts into the vegetation surrounding, as starting a massive forest fire. The black inks that were inside have now shot off into the darkness, and that is where we are going to conclude this one shot.
Why do I always die? Oh, man.
I knew we shouldn't have went into that fucking building. We lost the fucking Dawn here.
Yeah. In hindsight, I was like, oh man, maybe we'll find a cure. Nope. Just find a bunch of assholes sitting putting on their clothes at 4 in the morning.
The fact that no one came
random
out of
building.
that room, that they just were in that room.
Just
Bullets
sizzling.
going off, me opening Coke cans, you know.
Maybe they were locked in that room.
How you guys feeling?
I barely survived.
But you survived.
That's true.
I took no hit points.
Impressive. Don took them all.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm just gonna say the flame hand was apparently brilliant because
My favorite thing that we do is obviously reviews, because I enjoy that. But my favorite thing about the reviews is how we review things. And we don't base it off a star system. We don't base it off a point system. We base it off of how many die would you give this? Out of 5. So really it's a star system, but really we just substitute the star shape with a D20 shape, which is really just 2-dimensionally a hexagon. So
And then me filling them in is the hardest part.
Because the best part is when you have a weird number of people and you're taking the average of things, it makes really weird decimals, which makes really weird fractions, which makes really weird graphics because you got to fill in that fractional amount of space in that silhouetted shape. But Doodle, this is your first TTRPG. So I'm very curious to know, first and foremost, how not intuitive, how newcomer friendly did you feel like this system as a whole was for you?
I feel like it's pretty friendly, honestly. I feel like I was starting to slowly catch on to like certain things.
Oh yeah.
The ability modifiers, probably where I would have changed things up for myself.
Sure. So as a newcomer, what do you think would have been like a better route, like a better system, do you think?
The importance of certain things, maybe just having a general,
okay, that's fair,
like overall thing that kind of says like, hey, with these abilities, like these are what players typically find the most important because of A, B, and C.
That's fair.
And then that way it allows for like educated opinions to kind of, happen in the person's head of like how they think they want their character to properly be.
And I will say, as you play more, that does get a lot easier.
Yeah, exactly. But like I was just saying from like newcomer perspective.
Oh no, absolutely. Absolutely.
I definitely, with the stress and everything, I would have put more on empathy.
Yeah, same.
I mean, for the most part, you guys did a fairly decent managing stress, in an apocalyptic situation. Just the end there was
chaotic.
What would you say like your favorite part of the game itself is?
I like intensity. So like obviously the building was the most intense fucking part because we got locked in. So like that was the best portion. I did enjoy like the creation of like getting everyone together, because you kind of put it in my power to determine if I wanted to even like interact there or just fucking watch. And part of me did want to just fucking watch. But I was curious to see like what I could do combat wise. So that's why I like.
And that's the super fun thing about systems like this, is because it is a more like narratively heavy game. The option for you to kind of do some more off the wall shit's a lot more feasible, because you can just make up the rules necessary for something like that to take place, as compared to like a very rule heavy system where you have to figure out the mechanics and how they like interact with each other. So games like this are actually what I prefer to bring new players into, because it really gives you the space to kind of explore and fuck around without having to think too much of the nuance that nobody ever really cares to think about. So what would you rate this game?
I would have enjoyed a more complete ending. You kind of left us on a cliffhanger. So I would give it like a 4 because of that.
Okay.
Because I would have enjoyed a more complete ending personally.
Well, see the problem there. Anytime somebody says you're gonna play a one shot, it's not a one shot.
Yeah.
One shots are usually like 3 sessions. Mini campaigns are about 10 to 15, and a complete campaign's about 60. It's kind of a running joke in general, but to try to really get a one shot to be like have a decisive ending, you end up having to plan so little and do so little that there's really not much like exploration. So I personally leave these kind of open-ended. So at any point, if like the 4 of us want to go back and play, we have a pickup spot that we could go back to and finish on this story with.
Well, he's dead though.
I mean,
Farles is dead though.
Farles just gets to bring in a new character.
Yeah, they just create a new the Don's arch nemesis. What was his name? Joe Man.
Joe Man.
Joe Man appears.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Just because like I like complete stories.
No, I
And
respect
it just makes me sad knowing that we just end after he dies. Like shit.
Hey, you want to play again? You just let me know, and we'll pick up right at this forest fire and see what happens.
I don't know. It might like be a different story because it might be time for Rowdy to just be happy with his flame hand appearance.
All right, Britt. So at the table, player-wise, you're going to be our most experienced player. How are you feeling about the game?
I loved it. I really, really did. I really enjoyed it. To me, this is kind of a game where you can kind of pick up and play.
Yeah.
It really leaves up to the GM's interpretation how the game will go in the sense of storyline. So I feel like you're going to need, if you're going to pick up and play, you need a GM who's experienced enough to talk on the fly. If you're going to go campaign, otherwise, you're going to have time to plan. But I feel like, you and your friends are hanging out and you're like, oh, let's have a board game night. This would be one that you could bust out.
I agree. It's not quite one-page TTRPG. It's a fairly straightforward system. It's a very quick and easy read in the world of rules. So, yeah, I agree entirely that it's something that you can just, let's pick up and spend 15 minutes trying to figure out what the rules are and just dive right into it.
Because it's very powered by the apocalypse-esque in the sense of like you roll one die, you have your modifiers, like you like critical pass, like a pass, like etc., which makes that very easy instead of leaving it to like a DC level, like for each whatever, like the difficulty level of each thing. So I feel like that makes it so easy to pick up and play. And like we said, it leaves it very open-ended, role-playing-esque. Because if you're going to play this, you've most likely either seen or watched or played The Last of Us. And have some inkling of what the game is about. And I really channeled my inner Joel today.
I'm your daddy.
And I felt like it was such a creative theme to play off of. Because I personally, when I play something, the things that capture me most about a certain TTRPG is the theme. Like this, because it's The Last of Us, was just one more reason for me to want to play it. So yeah, I would give this a 4.
Okay.
I would give this a 4. I feel like, I would really love, like Doodle, to play more to kind of get our toes wet, because I felt like this could definitely be a full-fledged campaign.
Yeah.
For the amount of like traveling and open worldness, this, I feel like, to really feel like I really played this game, I need a full campaign. And it's definitely, I feel like it's both, like, full campaign or one-shot-esque. It fits that bubble perfectly. So yeah.
And then as somebody who's currently playing Monster of the Week, do you prefer the D20 roll or do you prefer the 2D6? For this style of narrative direction for outcomes.
I really liked the D20. I really liked it. I feel like it gave a wide enough range for people to fail or pass. And it's not just kind of like up to the discretion of the GM. It's like black and white. So like, when you roll and you're like, oh, I rolled a 6 and my modifier's 2, it's only an 8. You're like, ugh, kind of already know what you're feeling, the feeling of the outcome is going to be.
No, that's fair. All right.
Yeah.
So you got 4. Doodle had 4. All right, Farles, how are you feeling about the game? How are you feeling about the system?
I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really easy. So the character creation was super easy. I mean, way easier than D&D. There was like 3 total things you had to actually figure out, and then you just kind of allocated points to things you wanted to be good at, which wasn't, it was pretty straightforward. I thought that it would definitely be better as a full campaign because the like reducing your stress and conflict and all that stuff is like something that's very narrative driven. Yeah, and stuff that like you'd act out and do a bunch of like work on it and self-care and all that stuff. I feel like the conflicts are like brutal if you start stacking them on top of each other. But I mean, it made it really stressful, which is exactly how the apocalypse would be, right? Like, it's not like, oh, you punch a slow-moving zombie in the head and he's dead, and then you move on to the next one. Like, it's people don't survive in the apocalypse for that reason. Like, it's like the cards are stacked against you, and that kind of, I feel like the stress stuff really added to that. I don't know. I thought the rules for the most part were pretty easy to follow. And it was pretty easy to pick up and play and start playing really quickly. And I feel like whenever I can get like spending less time thinking about the rules and stuff and more time just like imagining the world while we're playing through it, it makes it easier to kind of get engrossed in it and I don't know, make it more entertaining when I can like imagine in my head the Don just sizzling chest hair and punching walls that make no sense.
You spend more time writing the story than reading how to write the story.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
actually a great way to say that.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And then same question as somebody who's currently playing Monster of the Week. Did you like the D20 or do you like the 2D6 more?
I've always liked the D20 more just because I don't know, I like rolling dice. The 2D6 is nice, and I like that Monster of the Week really like adds. Basically, there's a lot of like gray area, and like, oh, they take a hard move against you. But I like Britt was saying, it's just like, I don't know, a little bit easier to. Oh, you rolled a 16, you passed. You rolled a 15, you somewhat passed, and then take one stress. The like adding the stress from failure was a much easier way to track your success in an instant.
No, I agree.
But I think also devil's advocate on that. A GM can't be like, okay, I don't want their character to die yet. Like, there's not necessily any wiggle room.
Technically
to kind
speaking,
of
there's not supposed to be wiggle room.
I know, but like, as like a like as a GM, you kind of like, oh, I'm not gonna set the AC here. I'm gonna set it because I don't want them to die. You know what I mean? In that retrospect. Whereas here, it's fate is set. Like, there's no.
Again, but agreed. But you also have to think the theme of this. It's a survival story.
Oh yeah.
It's a apocalypse. The likelihood that all 3 of you were going to like statistically come out of this wouldn't make sense that all 3 of you would survive with like these types of scenarios coming up. So this is really one that I think is a good emphasis on like not fucking with the dice gods, because it's obviously it's always so much more fun for players to be the heroes, do everything they want, but failure also tells a really great story. And if you aren't allowing enough of those types of things to like come into play, you're kind of crippling yourself for that narrative development. As somebody who, I'm gonna peek behind the curtain, I fudge dice rolls to help my players stay alive so they can explore more of these characters for longer beings. But there's sometimes that eventually, like, there's not enough fudging in the world to get past, like, hey, you've rolled a lot of ones, bud. Like, it's just...
Yep.
This one's just is what it is.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, these dice are cursed, man.
And you
They've
went
never
through,
been
what,
good.
3 sets?
I went through, like, 6 different 20-sided dice. And they all failed me.
All right, and
Time
what are
to
you
time out.
scoring?
I'd say I'd give it a 4. Thought it was really an enjoyable game. I think it was easy to play. It was easy to for the most part, easy to understand. The conflict's a little confusing, but it was easy to tell if you're succeeding or failing in this situation. And it really kind of like laid it out and said, hey, You rolled your 12th one, you're gonna die.
No.
No, I agree. I think in the world of, I think from what the show has shown or has presented and more popular realms of TTRPGs, I think this is a very good one because it's a good middle ground between narrative and mechanics to kind of get a new player ready. I think Doodle could be thrown into a Monster of the Week campaign now and would do incredibly well because he now understands the concept of subbing out that D20 for 2d6. So he would learn that a 10 plus goes perfectly as he wants. A 7 to 9 mixed success, he gets what he wants, there's a drawback. 6 and below is a failure. So he now has an idea of what to expect with these narrative heavy games, but also now that he understands all those stats, how they break down to certain things, he now has a better understanding of jumping into D&D or Pathfinder, where it's a very math heavy game to kind of break down what my character is going to do mechanically and the ability that is going to assist me in doing so, and going to the more meta game side of it of like, how do I maximize my character's ability sets? So I find this game to be a good balance of, yes, narrative heavy jump with that mechanic or medium game like mechanic requirement of understanding. So like for what we've seen so far, like with that Hellbound Train, which is purely narrative, that's just a bunch of people chatting with each other, building a story together. And then you have something like this, The Corrupted, where you're like, okay, now Doodle, again, just picking on you, bud, because this is your first TTRPG here. So Doodle could pick up and like, let's go play Monster of the Week. And he's going to basically understand how the game is played. His new task in that one is figuring out the verbiage used in that game versus him going into Dungeons and Dragons and like, okay, I have the concept of how battle works and turn-based economy and how many actions take place in a time span, and then how these stats apply, without jumping into that like, what the fuck is all over this goddamn character sheet? Like, I don't know what I'm reading here. I think this is a great way for somebody to sit down, because again, you can sit down and quickly play, and I don't think you would have to be a super experienced GM to read through these rules. I think just about anybody could pick up these rule sheet and be able to sit at a table and bullshit their way through, because everybody's going to be sitting at the table, well, how does that rule play? The rules are fairly straightforward. My complaint for the game is we don't know what happens when you compound past 5 levels of stress, because my brain almost also went like, do I give him like an aneurysm? Like, I feel like at what level of a stress do you have like a physical reaction of your body, like, let's restart this shit because something's not right.
Right.
So it's definitely, I think that's honestly my biggest gripe. My other gripe is I don't like point buy. I think point buy is an overly convoluted system, because again, Doodle, for example, like Farles, you found it fairly straightforward, but Doodle is like, oh yeah, I don't know what any of this shit means, but then have to go forward and individually track how many points he's using off a chart to make sure he's using the proper allotted amount, adding in these stats. And that might just be a personal gripe because I don't like point buy. I think it's overly convoluted and I think it limits a lot more. I personally would replace that with a different system. I don't know what I would replace it with, but I think the point buy is probably the weakest aspect of this game.
I think the reasoning it exists in this specific game is to make it an easy pick up and play, because then they're just like, I just put points into this. Like,
no,
this
I
is
think
how
that's a very good point and argument for that.
Not saying that I love point buy as myself, but like, I feel personally that's why it was so easy to create a character and all that stuff, was because of the point buy system. And do I wish like 5 wasn't 7 points and confused the crap out of me because I'm bad at math? I think that's the only thing that was just like, which slowed me down a little bit.
One thing I did really enjoy, though, is I like that all stats start at -2. Because especially in the apocalypse, like, you're going to be put in a lot of those situations, like, do you know how to do X? And if it's outside of something you likely do on your day-to-day basis, you're probably not gonna know how to do it. So I like that you actually start with a negative modifier as compared to 0, meaning you have a basic understanding. Like you could send me out to the woods. I'm not gonna be able to start a fire by myself. Like I have 0 capability. Like I know the concept of putting dry wood together and some fucking kindling and hopefully get sparks and catches. I have a basic understanding, but you put me out there, I'm not starting a fire by myself. That's just not gonna go well. So in that circumstance, I'm gonna have a negative stat. And in other games, you're gonna start with a 0 because like, oh, you're just not proficient in that bullshit. I just don't know how to do it.
Yeah. And something like driving, at first I was like -2. Like I know how to drive, like been driving for years, but also the amount of driving that I'm thinking would be involved is like getting away from something, trying to maneuver away from something, things that
driving on shit destroyed roads that haven't been upkept.
Yeah, something me and my minivan would not know how to do. Like that's so I think it makes it more real in that sense of that negative too.
No, but yeah, I enjoyed this. I think part of me wants to give it a lesser score just to give you a weird fraction to make a graphic for. But unfortunately, I also have to agree with a 4, which I believe just puts this at a 4 out of 5 dice. So up to this point's our highest scored game. And
wow,
again, I enjoyed this one. This would be one I genuinely like. This is gonna be on my list of like, hey, you don't want to play this type of TTRPG, but I've got this one on the fly, and I think just for like a survival type game, I think it's a very good pick up and go, which I think is probably the biggest selling point, is just how easily this game can be picked up, understood, and then start. You could pick up, read the rules, and be playing this game within an hour, which a lot of TTRPGs you can simply just not do.
Yeah, and I think especially with friends that are like, I don't know if I want to play, like who've never played, and they're like, meh. I was like, well, I have this one and it's based on The Last of Us, and they're like, oh really, okay, like that's the hook. Getting them to play is the line and sinker.
Yeah, I agree entirely. Does anybody else have any other thoughts they want to throw into this game?
Next time, let's do space zombies.
I'm all for space zombies. We'll go fucking full on Jason in space. Fuck with me.
I think the only thing I would add is like, as a new player, is like you just gotta make sure you're not afraid to be creative, and you gotta come very much in that imaginative mindset. Otherwise, it's like you're not gonna do very well. Like you gotta reach into that inner creative thoughts and really dive in if you're gonna enjoy it properly.
Which was great seeing you have that like click moment in your brain when you're like, oh, I can set my fist on fire with this. So like it was very cool because you stepping into the TTRPG for the first time, you always have that awkwardness because most people are like, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to present this, I don't want to step on toes, I don't know what's like allowed. It's like you quickly figured out what you are capable. Like even early on, you're like, oh, I just want to jump into a gap down the stairwell. Like, that's a very quick and creative thing. Like not a lot of people, like I personally did not think, oh yeah, just jump in the crack and like hope for the best. But like you quickly gathered on very quickly, like, oh yeah, because one, I'm sure that was like, oh, let me test the waters. Can I do this? Fuck yeah. And then you just quickly watch like the lights begin to like turn on as like, oh, if I can do this, then I can do this, then I can do this. And then it really sparked the pun intended, like it sparked the fire in me. Like watching you hit that moment, like, oh, I can light my fist on fire for like extra damage to kind of help me out here. So that was very cool from like a DM perspective to like see a player come into it as quickly as you did and as confidently as you did.
So I just like being weird and imaginative already. So
the T in TTRPG stands for weird.
That doesn't even make sense.
Thanks for rolling with us. I'm Britt.
I'm FarlesBarkley.
I'm JAK Doodle.
I'm T, and you guys just keep geeking out. Bye.
Click the link below to get your own copy of The Corrupted by Navaar Seik-Jackson.